So I just want to acknowledge the heart of Richard and how much he cares about us and how much what he's really about. He was retired over 20 years ago. He didn't have to do any of this. If you know any really people, successful people, a lot of them are, and there's nothing wrong with it, just want to chill and enjoy life. I celebrate that. But some are driven to go beyond that. Some are not satisfied or content unless they can transform the lives of others. And that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to be up there alone with wealth and abundance. He wants to create a more wealthy and abundant world. So let's give it up for our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Richard Hart.
Lifetime Achievement Award. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Excitement. Thanks for the applause, everybody. Am I on? Can you guys hear me out there? It says I'm in the show. What's up, everybody? Am I live? Can you hear me?
Maddie, can you...
Turn on my mic.
Maddie, how can I stop the share so we can see Richard Big? There we go.
How's it going, everybody? Hello. It's much nicer to be on stage and talking when the HEX price is up 30% for the day than when it's down. I like that. Yeah. So, when I give these talks, I've never prepared one. They're all, ad lib, contemporaneous. And I like it because I just get to talk to you guys and share what's on my mind. The more that I touch the real world, the more that I realize that the rest of the world sucks. And most of what I know that is good in the world is the stuff that I'm building or the people I know are building. So, for instance, we saw some political, what would be widely regarded as peaceful political protest in Canada, where people are so nice that they're more likely to say sorry to you than almost any other English word. And they had their money seized from them without due process of law using an emergency executive order. And what we see all across the world is the executive branches of governments usurping the power of the legislative and judicial branches, breaking the checks and balances that make democracies work. And every day you have less choice, worse fees, worse hours. You're almost banned from every platform. There's no customer service. It's all got you capitalism. And you never get your rights back. So there used to be a law that if you intercepted somebody's mail and you read it, that would be a federal crime. It was a big deal. Now everyone reads your mail. The admin at your ISP reads your mail. Google reads your mail. Whoever your email service provider is reads your mail. And not until too long ago, the EU had a directive where by law, they had to keep a copy of your mail just in case they wanted to screw you up later one day, just in case they wanted to get you. Wild to me that this is the world that we live in, where our analog rights have been lost in the digital world. Our rights to privacy, which is a legitimate right. The UN nation, the UN would tell you that you have a right to privacy and freedom of movement. The First Amendment of the Constitution, in the Bill of Rights, the United States Constitution, would tell you that you have a right to freedom of movement, freedom of association, and freedom of speech. And yet, these are the things that are being violated every single day. If you live in Germany right now, you can't go to a restaurant unless you've been vaccinated. If you get a vaccination, or if you get a test that says that you're COVID clean, you don't have it, you have to get it every single day. And it's a PCR test, so it costs €50 plus. And they jam a swab up your nose, and you still can't do anything. So that they have these levels where you not only have to have a test that shows you're negative, but you also have to be vaccinated, and you also have to have boosters. And then here's the funny part. In a couple of weeks, they're just going to forget about it all, and it's all going to go away. But today, you have no rights. Today, you have no right to freedom of movement. Today, you have no right to freedom of association. That's not okay. It's never been okay. America was founded you know, America was founded by a bunch of pot smoking farmers who weren't happy with being taxed and not represented. They were just basically being enslaved. And in certain countries, their tax laws enslave you. Like, you are a slave, and good luck freeing yourself. And it's not a fair world out there. And so cryptocurrency and hex.com, pulsechain.com, pulsex.com, these are some of the only tools in the world that actually can bring freedom back to the people. It's really that simple. Imagine being a Russian right now. You live in a country that has the GDP of Florida. They have a 7% of the United States GDP. The only Russian products that I know of that I would like to purchase are either gasoline or that's it, right? Because I'm not allowed to buy fighters. You're right, they're not licensed for export. So, it's just they're a petrostate. In excess of 50% of their budget comes from the sale of gasoline, but they used to be a superpower. And how does that happen? How do you go from being a superpower, one of the best countries in the world, to having the GDP of Florida? Well, you just don't keep building, basically. And that's the reason why, the quickest cars are made in America, the best CPUs are made in America, the best finance is made in America. Americans get stuff done. We really do. And that's why the language of science internationally is English. And the world's reserve currency has got dead Americans on it. And even in these times of crisis, when the dollar is becoming worthless faster than we've ever seen in our lifetimes. In my lifetime, the dollar has never become worthless faster. So this watch would be like 125,000 new. Now it's 300,000. This watch would probably be like maybe 150,000 new. Now it's $1 million once I replace this bracelet. And I think I might be able to swap them, to tell the truth, but I got one on order. So should a watch that you don't even wind to tell time cost $1 million? Should it cost 6 or 7 times retail? No. But because they keep printing the money out of thin air, stealing from everyone who has bothered to save it, now this is what people don't understand. If you have a stock, or let's say you had gold, laughable. It's not a very good investment. But let's say it went up magically 30% this year. If everything that you wanted to buy, like this watch, went up 200 or 300%, you still lost a ton of purchasing power. Wheat went up 30% this week. Nickel went up like 700% this week. Everything is at all-time highs. Houses are all-time highs. Cryptocurrencies were recently at all-time highs 11 months ago for Bitcoin, maybe 6 months ago for HEX. So when will man be free of being robbed by his government? And how to the currencies of the world is there a difference between a guy illegally counterfeiting money and the government just printing money out of thin air? What's the difference to the prices? The only difference is who gets to spend it first. But to the prices, it just drives up the prices of anything anyway, and it devalues your savings anyway. And so if you want to give human beings back the power that they used to have, now I'll give you another example. So we know that your right to privacy is totally destroyed, right? So you have a right from government search and seizure, unreasonable search and seizure, Fourth Amendment right, but they just skip it and circumvent it because your privacy's already been violated by all the companies. So your cell phone provider already has a record of anywhere you've ever been. Your cell phone provider has a record of any girl you've ever called, even though you forgot their number and lost it. They still have it, and they're not the only entity that has it. There's government agencies that have it too. So the ISP has it, maybe the SS7 routing networks that they have agreements with have it, and then certain 3-letter agencies, and the government will have it too, even though they might not mention it to you. And so everyone in the world knows what girls you've been talking to, but you'll forget. That's crazy to me. It's wild to me. And then they passed these laws. So they had the data retention law, which is hilarious. Like capture all the SMS, capture all the emails. We have you'd have no privacy anyway because of cell phones. Everyone, and by the way, laws that just make you click OK to every agreement that pops up. If you actually spent the time to read all the agreements that pop up, you wouldn't have a life left. It would be impossible. You couldn't function as a human being. Who made this law? Like now everything is just worse. They're going to steal all your data and use it however they want anyway. You don't have time to read all the stupid agreements. They're going to lose all your data regardless. Government agencies lose everybody's data. Credit reporting agencies lose everybody's data. Everybody that captures your data loses it. It's wild to me. And then you have security theater, right? Like, but I'm afraid to speak out about some of these things because I don't want to get censored. I don't want to get deleted, right? Like I wouldn't even talk about, I won't even say the C word because I've had my channel banned before over it. So like it sucks that we live in a world where freedom of speech is dead. It's dead. Your ability to talk to someone in customer service is dead. Your ability to have more freedom of choice, more features, better hours, it's all gone. Your privacy's gone. It's all dead. The only thing that's bringing it back is cryptocurrency. How can you have a right to privacy but have to beg a company to transact? How can you have a right to freedom but have the government instantly turn off your money without any due process or any charges whatsoever, instantly through executive action, turn off your money? How are you going to execute your right to freedom of movement or freedom of travel when you can't buy a ticket? How are you going to do that? Walk? How are you going to eat when you can't buy food? Bitcoin, Ethereum, HEX, Pulse Chain, cryptocurrency in general, we are making the world a better place in extremely vital ways that were so important. People sacrificed their lives for it hundreds of years ago to create the nation that most of the people that I'm talking to were born in and live in. The founding fathers died in order to give us these rights. And over the years, like boiling a frog, you just get it hotter and hotter and it never notices it's boiling. It never jumps out of the pot. This is what's happened to America and the rest of the world. I mean, the WEF, World Economic Forum, wants you to own nothing and be happy. But what it really means is someone else owns it, it's not you. Just like cloud computing. There's no such thing as cloud computing. There's just somebody else's computer that's not yours. They want you to have less power, less control. They want somebody else that you didn't elect, that you don't know who they are, to have more control and more power over you. And how does that work? It doesn't work well. Central planning has never worked well. Decentralization and emergent wisdom of the crowd is what makes efficient markets. It's what makes competition and excellence occur in capitalism. It's the driving choice is the driving power behind capitalism. And without choice, you will get these emergent monopolies that create horror for everyone. If you got banned off Google, Twitter, Facebook, do you exist? Do you exist? How do you communicate with people? How will anyone know that you exist when you're banned from these few companies? And people get banned randomly by AI all the time. And who can they talk to? Who can they call? Nobody, because they don't care. I wish that the horrible companies of the 1980s that people thought would come true, like, OCP Corp from Robocop, I wish that those companies came true because at least they wanted you as a customer. At least they wanted your money. At least you could work around the evil and manage it. But in the cancel culture, where everyone's first movement is to remove all your speech, remove your ability to communicate, remove your ability to transact, remove your right to freedom of movement, remove your right to freedom of association, remove your right even to address the government for grievances. Like, this is the First Amendment. Cryptocurrency solves this. And back to the Russians, I feel so sorry for the Russian people and the Ukrainian people, neither of which individually decided to go start blowing each other up. And let's be serious, one of those parties has a much larger blowing people up responsibility. One team is playing defense, one team is playing offense. The offensive team didn't have to play offense. And then people make all these totally stupid analogies as though NATO were somehow equivalent to Russia. They're not. The NATO general can't order anyone to do anything. The NATO general doesn't have a button that he can press to fire missiles at anyone. He does not. The individual members of that treaty just do whatever they want. They don't have to do anything, literally, which is why they usually don't meet their obligations. They usually don't put up the 2% of their GDP they're supposed to in defense. And if something did happen to one of their neighbors, they can just choose not to do anything and be like, lol, ha, which is the same thing they would have done if they weren't even the treaty organization. It's a membership. It's no more a membership than basically just being like, hey, we all kind of speak English and we all kind of have the same morals, so we'll just kind of try and back each other up if something bad happens. That's basically what the NATO agreement is. And that type of agreement has nothing in common with what is considered a totalitarian regime, where they very strictly control what is allowed to be said in the media. and we'll put you in prison if you say the wrong thing. And I mean, have we forgotten that these people just straight up with like exotic chemicals poison people they don't like? They hit you with a polonium poisoning if they don't like you, and publicly with like a very identifiable radioactive signature. And so I love libertarians. We want the world to have more freedom, and they're so used to hating what the globalists like. It's a good heuristic. It's like, oh, the globalists like it, I should hate it. But globalists like you to brush your teeth too. Occasionally they get something right. And so the opposite of globalism is not totalitarianism. The opposite of bad laws are not no laws. They're good laws. And so I hate to see people rush because they hate the globalists so much, as they should, that they fall into something that's even worse. Like totalitarianism is worse. Dictators are worse. Eating the bugs and having a social credit card score that could be revoked based on your political beliefs. Like you go to buy food and they're like, you can't buy food because, you said the wrong thing about the leading party. That sucks. But that's more similar to what they have in Russia than it is what they have in these Western countries. I mean, when you go on Wikipedia and you look at the perceived corruption index, all those Western countries that you think are woke, they have the best outcomes for their citizens by far. And then all the countries that you think are like hardcore manly countries, they have the worst outcomes for their citizens. That's the reality. And so what I want, I mean, I wish I could be president. I wish I could make these decisions for people. And maybe one day, we can have that, right? Like maybe one day we can gather up enough economic capital to create a stronghold in a nation that we could have enough pull in. Or otherwise, I mean, look, African nations get created and get recognized, and they start from rather scratch every once in a while. So it is something that can be done, but it's surely not easy. And we've got a lot of other battles to win before we can do that. Political and economic change can be executed in existing governments. It just takes effort. And every time one of these bills comes into power that screws all of the normal people, right? So in the United States, they could just issue a tax bill because they already have all the data from your employer. They could just issue the tax bill and not have to play like, hey, guess what you owe us or go to jail. They could just issue you the bill. But by law, they can't do it because the Intuit company that owns TurboTax and a bunch of other stuff, they made it a law so the government couldn't do that for you so that they can continue to charge you rent. That sucks. But because they paid the right lobbyists, they got a horrible bill passed. And so you run into this all the time where there are some people that get what they want out of the government, and it's very often not what is good for the people. Military industrial complex doesn't have the people's hearts in mind. Like they make money on conflict. The guys that want you to eat bugs, so stupid. Guys, we don't need to eat bugs. Every single nation that's like, once your nation becomes profitable, your birth rate falls through the floor and you don't even replace what's lost anymore. You've got negative population growth in Europe. You've got negative population growth in China. You've got negative population growth a ton of places. You don't have to worry about this overcrowding thing. It solves itself naturally, right? You don't have to poison the people or, there's a lot of countries that straight up have programs to pay you to go on dates. They have this in Sweden. They have this in Japan. They will pay you to go on a date, hopefully, so you make kids. That's crazy. I wish people would pay me to go on dates, man. I'd find some time, So what's the summary of all this? The summary of all this is you can have the freedom to transact if you're in cryptocurrency, which is why you saw Ukraine beg for cryptocurrency to help them fund the defense of their nation. And they raised about $50 million doing it, and they used that to buy weapons to defend their country. Now, it's just handing people money in general is pretty risky. What if the other team wins? Now that's their stuff, right? What if the guy that ran that account just decides to defect? Like there's so many, just handing people money is like a super risky situation. So cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk, and paying people and hoping usually doesn't work out, usually. But what it does show is that cryptocurrency is so important to the future of the world that nation states are begging for it. And when nothing else works, let me tell you what happened to Russia. If you're normal Russian, let's say you're a normal Russian grandma, you're retired, you're 65. Now, let me tell you the products and companies that you can't interact with in Russia because of a decision made far, far outside your sphere of influence. Here's the companies that have pulled out of Russia: Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Rolex, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Pepsi, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Spotify, Netflix, Disney, just about everybody. What did that 65-year-old lady do to deserve that? Nothing. Not a thing. She's being victimized twice. She's being victimized once by the government. She's being victimized once by other governments. This lady's having a really bad time. It ain't pretty, right? Now you could say, look, this is an alternative to try and prevent a more harsh, like having a temporary suspension of products you don't really need but kind of want. Like you don't really need Coca-Cola, but apparently a lot of people like it. Cryptocurrency solves this. If American Express and Visa and MasterCard not only are unwilling to allow you to transact, but also go down sometimes, and also charge a 1% fee on the entire GDP of the world, basically, and remove your freedom, remove your anonymity, remove your privacy, cryptocurrency can solve that. Now, general crypto is not private. You got to work for it. But if you do want it, you can have it. You can have privacy in crypto if you want it. You can't with a credit card. So cryptocurrency solves the right to transact, which is the right that underpins and backs your right to freedom of movement. You got to be able to pay for it. Freedom of speech, you got to be able to pay for it. You need an SMS to sign up for everything. You got to pay for that. It's like their version of proof of work, buying an SMS, or right, buying a phone number that has an SMS. And privacy, freedom. Why did my camera just drop? I guess my feed's still good on your end. So you got privacy, freedom to transact, freedom to move, freedom to address your government for grievances. Cryptocurrency solves all these things. And it's also, when the network fees aren't clogged, which Pulse Chain is going to help with, you can transact for less than, $20-$30 a pop, which is what the legacy banking systems want to charge you. So I'm very excited about what Pulse Chain and what HEX can bring to the world. I'm very excited that we can free so many people from the tyranny and the injustice that they don't even realize that they've been living in. These people don't even realize that the world has screwed them over. Give you another point. In the United States, I think you need to register with the government if you're going to transmit to more than $10,000 across the border. But every single year, your $10,000 buys less and less. And if you do that out in a long enough time frame, pretty much to buy a sandwich, you'll need to have $10,000. And that means that if you bring across the border sandwich money, you're going to have to report it to the government. Every single law that has a hard-coded dollar figure in it in the United States that's not inflation adjusted is a terribly unjust and unfair law, because the money keeps going to zero over time. And as it goes to zero over time, it's not just my belief. It's not just what the chart shows. It's not just what the chart from 100 years shows. It's also what Charlie Munger says. Well, not everything he says is right. But in this case, most people know that fiat currencies go to zero over time. Is that fair to the people? Does that empower the people? What do they do with that money? They waste it. They go to war with it. They buy the wrong stuff. They sit around. It's crazy. Like, you guys at this conference are participating in something that is one of the few things in the world that can truly improve man's situation in the world. Most everything else that's going on sucks. So congratulations to you guys, is what I say. Did I eat my hour up yet? Is my hour over yet? Or am I going to start doing watch reviews? I don't know how long I've been here. My camera recording thing died, so it's a good thing I'm like recording it extra. Do we want to do question and answers? Does anyone know how long I've been on so far? Wait a second, maybe I can check this thing. I've only been 30 minutes. You guys want to hear me talk 25 more minutes? I was told that there was some type of like surprise or gift or something going on. I was supposed to call in 20 minutes early. Did I screw that up? Let me look here. Hey guys, where's my special gift? So what else do we got going on? I mean, if you watch my last live stream, which I thought looked pretty funny because I was wearing an outfit full of stuffed animals on it and stuff.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, what's going on?
Maddie here.
Hey, man.
I'm waiting for Sticker Guy to add me to the screen.
All right.
Hey. So we've got Aubrey DeGray here, and I was going to have him come up and say hi. I've also got a special video from a crypto celebrity to play.
Crypto celebrity. All right. Is it Joe Biden?
All right. Is that working?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's messy. I'm not there yet.
Sticker Guy, go ahead and add Aubrey, please.
That's me. There we go. Hey, Richard.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Very well. I came in here yesterday afternoon, and I've spent the entire time receiving vast amounts of love from your people.
That's beautiful, man. Well, thanks for trying to save our lives. We appreciate it.
Gave a talk last night. Got a standing ovation for it.
Nice.
Talked a bit about how wonderful the airdrop was and how much more wonderful we can make it with a bit of pressure from some of the people here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in it to save lives, you know? So that's the thing that people don't understand. You know, I just noticed that you look at these TED Talks from 10 years ago and you think, well, that was a really nice TED Talk when I watched it. It made me feel really good. But did it actually have any effect on the world? And so, like, when I was first learning martial arts, my instructor explained to me, like, you know, you learn this stuff and you do it in class and you think it, like, works really well. When you get out in the street, you have to try so hard. Like, half your punches are going to miss. The dude's head is going to be built like a rock. Like, you have to give it 100%. You can't hold back. Like, your hardest that you can go is like just enough. And to get things done in the world politically or scientifically, you have to really punch as hard as you can. And that's the reason I believe that so many guys that stand on stage and just talk all the time, they don't really get it done. You know, it takes diligence and drive and perseverance. And I think that the world is a lot missing that, you know, like we finally got rockets that could land themselves. And if they had left it to the government or to the military industrial complex, it would have never happened. It would have never happened. You know, Elon Musk is rather inspiring in that when he sold his position in PayPal, he made about, it's either 150 or 300 million. I think I'm going to call it 300. And then he put 90% of it into the two most likely to fail startups you could think of, competing with the existing military industrial complex, doing the most complicated thing you could dream, building rockets, doing something that's never been done before. And then competing in car startups, where there's never been a successful car startup in the United States for 100 years. They all fail. The Packer car company failed, like you name it. And then he did both of those things. And his position was that even though your likelihood of failure is very high, the things are so important that you have to try them anyway. And so that's what I feel. That's how I feel about medical research. And it's how I feel about cryptocurrency. These are the things that can save the human beings from their otherwise terrible fate. You look on a trajectory, and every single day you're alive, your chance of being dead the next day is higher. And it's the same for your currency. If you hold dollars or any fiat currency, every single day you hold that, it is worth less. And the what is considered safe places to try and escape that horror, they don't earn fast enough to overcome the inflation. So, you know, congratulations on being in something that could change everything, you know?
Thank you. So I think I'm muted right now. Can you unmute me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm muted. Right, yeah, so, I just want to say, you know, it's such a privilege to have been able to team up with someone who's so like me that way, you know, who really, you know, is not only able to inspire people and be larger than life and all that, but also to be committed and to be, you know, really looking for the greater good. I'm a big Elon Musk fan as well, that's for sure. I agree with absolutely everything you said. You know, taking those kinds of risks because you only live once is what makes progress happen.
And the thing I've run into with really smart guys is that the existential angst of knowing that doom is coming, they kind of cheat it and hack it away by thinking fanciful things that aren't going to happen. Like they think mind uploading is going to happen. And you're like, the chance that you could make that work is about 1 million times less that we could make just fixing the existing stuff work. So every like Elon Musk doesn't support medical research in the way that I would prefer. He's cool with dying rather early. Bill Gates doesn't support medical research in the way I'd prefer. He's cool with dying early. And they're both publicly on record stating that they don't particularly want to live longer. I think that is tragically stupid. And I think they will obviously change their mind as they age. And then you're going to be like, oh, you know what? I was wrong. Actually, getting old sucks. And I wish my dick still worked right.
I kind of cut them a bit of slack on that because the fact is, you know, ever since the beginning of civilization, people have had to put aging out of their minds and, you know, get on with their miserably short lives. And some people are inevitably going to find it easier to break out of that cycle than others. So you can do a lot of good stuff, even if you're still in the pro-aging trance.
True. Yeah, and they can switch. They can join the good team. You know, like Bezos didn't fund much medical research until apparently now he did. And that's a big difference. Like a couple billion here, a couple billion there makes a big difference. And so I'm not willing to give this battle up. You know, people need to get their rights back. They need to get their freedoms back, and they need to spend money on the research that could save their lives, because where else are we spending the money? Like I've got $5 million of wristwatches that I don't even bother winding anymore. I don't even bother setting the time on them. There's a lot of wasted money in this world, a lot. And I would love to see some large portion of that waste go to things we could actually all benefit from, be happier, healthier. I mean, even mental illness, like, you know, something like 3% of the world is just straight up crazy. And I have some of these guys messaging me often, and you're like, yeah, I can tell, you know, there's something going on here. I can tell. I've met a lot of people like you, and I know you have pills you're supposed to be taking right now. Why don't we fix that, man? You know, like there's so not enough people working on that. And unfortunately, if you work on extending the human lifespan, apparently the rate at which you will get Alzheimer's is faster than the rate at which you will just generally die of any cause. And so what that means, if you do the math, is you're going to lose your mind before you die, probably. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because you are literally the expert.
That's more or less right, yeah. The doubling time of the propensity to get Alzheimer's is a bit shorter than the doubling time for most other things, like heart disease and so on. But of course, there's also the problem that Alzheimer's disease is rather bad at killing you in the first place. So when you do get it, you tend to have it for a long time before you die.
Right. And then they have measurements for this stuff. So they've got something called like a decrease in quality of life measurement by like how long it affects you for. And bipolarism like wrecks you the hardest for the longest. But people don't like, they don't know that. They don't know how bad it is. You're like, yeah, it's real bad. Your propensity to kill yourself is 20x. Like, yeah, these bipolar people, they get it done. They really like 20x more likely to get the job done. You know, it's, I want to see progress in these areas. And it's something that now a lot of people that have newfound wealth through either a lot of different speculative instruments, but I would say cryptocurrency might be the best of them, can now invest in promoting the things they care about. So if you care about HEX or Pulse Chain, you can promote it, as so many of you guys are. I mean, I didn't organize this event. Maddie organized this event. Thank you for letting me speak here. I appreciate it. And it doesn't just stop with that, right? Like you need to build, cryptocurrency is neat because if we build cool stuff, it's ready in a couple of years. We can absolutely feel the energy in a couple of years. With medical research, you need to think farther out. You have to start the things you want to see 20 years early. Then in 20 years, they might be ready for you. You know, you don't want to do a Steve Jobs, be really wealthy, have a lot of unallocated resources, have a bunch of money in the bank and die with it from something that you could have known was coming for you. or even worse, had modifiable risk factors or had treatments you could have used, you lost the game. Everybody listening to me speak right now is doing better than Steve Jobs is. And there's a lot of other guys ready to take his position as biggest loser. There's a lot of very wealthy people that are ready to die with a bunch of unused resources that if they deployed them could have saved their own lives. And if they failed, could have accelerated saving the other people's lives that they care about, their children or other people they just like, right? It's not just saving your kids, it's saving your kids or other people that you like. And, I'm in the cryptocurrency game for some years more, very hard, because there's so much impact I can have here. But as a sideline, longevity and medical research, it's a great second place. It might be first one day,
Yeah, well, you can take crypto, I'll take life extension, and we'll get there.
So part of the reason, please.
Matt.
Part of the reason that I was so obsessed with keeping the cost of this conference down is because I personally believe that every dollar that we saved in the $369 admission price for 4 days, every dollar that we saved might turn into much, much more. It might do a 10,000x like HEX did, right? And we sold the tickets during the Pulse X launch, and many of you participated in the Pulse launch. For me, if my dollars turn into tens of thousands of dollars again, and even if they don't, as my ladder comes out, I'm going to be donating to the Sens Foundation because, I'm on a yearly staking plan, and I would love, someday to get to the point where I'm able to have a negative birthday.
Negative birthday, nice. That's a good one. I've been in Bitcoin for a long time, and I remember going to the Bitcoin conference in either 2012 or 2013 in Amsterdam. I think the ticket was like $1,300 or something like that. Well, Bitcoin was also about $1,300, but now Bitcoin's $40,000. So buying tickets to things instead of buying coins is like a risky proposition. This might not be the right venue to express this view. But congratulations on making it more affordable, because I think $369 for 4 days is quite a good deal. I mean, we did one in
Now, if you have one of these badges, there's a QR code on there, and that'll take you to all my links. I've made the top link Aubrey's Google form. And what this Google form does is it allows you to create a letter to the Sens Foundation to explain what the intent of our donations were. Our donations were not given so somebody can spin off a startup. They weren't given so that, so that we could wait years and years and years for them to be deployed. Aubrey is the best person to know what to do with the funds that we donated. So I would ask all of you who donated to the Pulse Sacrifice for Sens Foundation to go to this link and fill out the form so we can make our voices heard.
Is it public question and answer phase yet?
Thanks again.
We have a 1-minute video to play from a crypto celebrity, and then we'll start the Q&A.
Hey, should I say goodbye to Aubrey? Yo, Aubrey, thanks, bro. It's good seeing you.
Thank you.
Keep in touch.
Hi, everyone in the HEX community. My name is Roger Veer. I was the first investor in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and a long time other participant in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Really did a good job of convincing me to make a video for all the HEX fans out there today, even though I'm trying to take a break from social media, everything. But just want to congratulate you guys on raising, I think I read $27 million for Sens. That's a really big deal and a really big amount of money. And so thank you and congratulations for that, since that's something I'm also interested in. Anyhow, I haven't had time to follow HEX real closely, but from what I can see, you guys are trying to build faster, better, cheaper, more reliable payments and a platform to do all of that than everything Ethereum could do and then some. So just want to congratulate and cheer you guys on when it comes to those goals that you have. and wish everybody the best of luck in the future, building a better world for all of us to live in. Thank you all so much.
Roger gets like an unfair shake. He really wanted to lower the Bitcoin fees, and the devs really weren't doing it, and they really still haven't done it. When is the last time anybody added capacity to the Bitcoin network? 4 years ago, maybe, and it was a 40% increase, and that's it. That's their scaling roadmap, and it's over now. When I used to promote Bitcoin, there was at least a block size increase on the Blockstream Bitcoin Core Dev roadmap, and then they just never did it. So they basically lied. They're like, "Hey, we're going to do this. It's on the roadmap." Oh, haha! Actually, we're not going to do it. It's crap. It's garbage. And Ethereum has increased their capacity numerous times. Every time there's a gas limit increase, that's the equivalent of a block size increase. Ethereum's been doing it just fine over and over and over. Well, not just fine, because sometimes you go to do a Uniswap swap and it's $300. But it at least showed progress. And so Roger really tried he did his best to try and get more capacity into Bitcoin. He couldn't do it, so he tried to go his own way with it. Didn't really work, unfortunately, but he tried. His intentions were there. And, he's supported other technologies that people have used in crypto. And he really wants the people to have more freedom from basically the governments that are harshly controlling them. And people don't understand that that's even happening. People don't realize that you used to have more freedom than you have now. They don't get it. But some of us remember, some of us know that the world can be a better place. We can give people their rights back. And so I honor Roger for having the right intentions and really wanting to make the world a freer place, And he's given millions of dollars to economic education for people so that they could try and learn what good money might look like. So thanks a lot. Nice surprise. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks to Crypto King for organizing that. Now, if we could make a line next to K4K for people who want to come on stage and ask Richard a question. All right. Come on down. I put everybody on the spot.
You guys have the biggest auditorium ever there. This would look like a really packed. If the auditorium was 4 times smaller, it would look packed. But because it's absolutely huge, it looks sparse. We're gonna need some Photoshop experts to chuck some Swedish bikini team people in the audience. Is that even a thing? Was there ever actually a Swedish bikini team? I hope so.
Sticker guy. You need to add him. You're controlling the stream. Everybody give it up for Sticker Guy and all the volunteers we have here today. Thank you.
Hello, stage. Nice to meet you.
All right. Well, my name's Philly Steaks, Big Philly Steaks. I'm not from Philly. I'm from Toronto. And you were talking about an event there, Richard, about our Trudeau government that, just voluntarily, just willy-nilly said, I'm going to freeze the bank accounts of single waitresses in Vancouver because they donated $50 to the Freedom Convoy. And
they didn't even just seize the money of people there. They seized the people they seized the money of people that weren't even there. I forgot how bad it was. Thank you for reminding me.
That was even worse than the millions that they stole from the GoFundMe site. But that's what we're battling in Toronto, in Canada. And my question to you was, the Russell Brand did a stream just yesterday, I think, and he talked about how cryptocurrency, he thinks, could solve this. And we know as Hexicans, it can. You were talking about it just now. But do you think you would you be able to do an interview with a Russell Brand? He's got 11 million followers. And he, on his stream, said, I need to know more about cryptocurrencies. And I got on and commented, I think you should talk to the most smartest man in crypto right now, Richard Hart. And a couple of other Hexicans got on as well. And how can we make this happen? Wouldn't that be something two very intelligent conversationalists talking about how to solve the world, kind of like what Richard just did here? How can we get you an interview with Richard Brandt?
So my opinion on how to get me in better conversations with people is that you have to use the communication method that is most rare, because they'll ignore all the other ones as noise. So if you reach out to people that have a wide audience on the same channel that the audience is on, so if you're in YouTube in the comment section, if you're on Twitter in the comment section, they're never going to see what you write, because they ignore all that because they have finite time. So the best way to reach to these people is through their managers. And so you have to find the email address, phone number, or physical location of the people that are actually in charge of what gets on their schedule and what doesn't. That's how you get me on these guys. And then if they're popular enough, you need to work me on the food chain of the things that they watch to get on the radar, because they also consume content. And there's certain guys that they watch. And if you look at who they've interviewed previously, they tend to have all done interviews on a couple other things first. And so it's like a minor league or junior league or whatever. So that's the technical answer. I got to tell you, you Hexicans, I love you guys, but some of you aren't that good at getting the word out. So like today, I was bragging about all these watches. I buy them to get clout, to try and get a bigger audience. I'm not buying them because I don't know what time it is. I'm buying them
and some,
for social.
Some of us aren't that smart either, Richard. Some of us are, I got a day one Hexican, but I didn't follow your instructions. Day one Hexican, you told us not to FOMO in on day one. I did it. And then you said, just don't use your free Bitcoin, which is the only thing I did. I staked my Bitcoin because I thought, this guy's not going to get my money, And it's like, all I did was the super safe stuff. And you said, you know what? The real key is use your Ethereum. Use your $150 Ethereum at the time and get hundreds of thousands of hex, and all I did. But then I looked back a year later and I said, holy cow, it's gone from a whole bunch of zeros to like one or two zeros behind the decimal place. And I thought, that's when I go all in. So thank you, Richard, for
it's my pleasure.
making all our lives wonderful here. And we look forward to promoting you so much more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my pleasure, man. Thank you for the questions, man. Thank you. So for you guys, I just want you to say, like, when I do all this social influence and clout crap and buy all this silly, $5,000 for what bags I don't even use. I'll never use this bag. Never, right? But this one's pulse colored, so that's a little bit nicer. There's the pulse colored one. I do it to on-ramp the users of luxury goods that have disposable income that would make good Hexicans or support the charities I like, or just get them into our ecosystem. I do not promote these things so that you guys buy them. For you guys, it might be a huge waste of money. I've been retired 20 years. You probably haven't been retired 20 years. So when I make these social posts, you guys need to tag, like he sees Russell Brand would be someone that would make a good on-ramp. Yeah. So I'm telling him how to reach them. You need to tag these guys. You need to email their handlers. That's the solution. So like today, I was like, hey, post some guys that you know that like watches, because I think I have the best Rolex collection. I'm sure I don't, but I need to punch hard to get a headline. So do I have the best Rolex collection is a better headline that will make people fight back and get engagement, is better than, maybe I have the 10th best collection or something. That sucks, right? So you guys should have searched for all the watch YouTubers and tagged them instead of me having to do it. But because you guys weren't good at it, I had to do it. You guys could have went on YouTube and searched watch review, which is what I did, and then looked for all their Twitter tags and tagged them, right? So that's something you guys, the Hexicans, can do that I should never have to do, truthfully.
That has been the biggest thing about this conference, I think, Richard, is that it has been speaker after speaker engaging us to engage the world on your behalf, because there are things that need to be spoken. We all have our own little niches, and every speaker has been really good at promoting other people's projects, other people's way and take on making sure the world knows Pulse and Hex. And I got to thank Maddie for putting this on, because I came and I'm stoked to go back to Canada as one of the only Canadians here. It's neat to see. I'm glad they let you in. I'm glad you're still allowed to cross the border. I have a little bit of a trivia question related to me. You might see, as I was the last unvied Canadian to leave the country of Canada on October 31st, before they shut the border and said no more unvied persons. And then I went to, I think it was Barack Obama's riding, where they were still serving the J&J version. And I got that. It was more of a traditional, V, not floating DNA protein. So, and it was, unfortunately, I got that one just to be able to continue on with your life. And it's terrible when you have to take something unwillingly into yourself, though you don't want to. And
that sounds like rape. Sounds like you're describing rape. Because I think that's similar. Like here's some risk that you didn't want, and we know there's risk, and that's why there's a clause that says that you can't sue them. Oh, I can sue them for everything else except this. Why not this?
Yeah.
It's really disgusting, and it's unfortunate we can't even use the words, or else we will be. It's disgusting, dude. Like.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't make a guy's weekend of it and go see the Chicago Bears and walk into a Walgreens and get this done. And, I'm a ski instructor in Canada. And there's a life that had to go on,
Yeah.
And I lost my job in the summer as a head pro of a tennis club because you couldn't, you didn't have that in your arm. And so now with HEX games.
Well, it's okay because now magically it just all went away.
Yeah, I know. And I'm almost
not totally yet, but within the next couple months, it won't be.
And I'm almost finished building my own tennis court with a big HEX in the center of it. So
nice.
No matter how many lockdowns we get, we can fall down and serve up some tennis, So
have some freedom.
It's terrible we have to work around this. But
appreciate it, man. Good meeting you.
Yeah, next.
Hey, Richard. My name is Greg Ship. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I want to say that I think you're the smartest man in, well, I was going to say crypto, but I think I'll just say you're the smartest man and put a period there.
I'll take it.
I know that you get frustrated. I get frustrated with people saying release, 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 release. I just want to say, get it right, get it right, get it right, get it right.
Yes.
Yeah,
however much time it takes.
Yeah,
and I want to tell you that I got into Bitcoin for my family. I'm 63 years old, and maybe with Aubrey's research, I can live a whole lot longer, but I have a 4-year-old grandson named Braxton, and Braxton's future self thanks you very much.
Well, everybody here is working hard. Yeah, I tell people, look, in these things that I build, you can't have expectation of profit of work of others, but you can have expectation of profit of work from yourself. And so I think you see a lot of people getting the word out.
You just provide the opportunity. Yes. We do the work.
We will.
You guys are doing great. Thank you so much for the kind words.
Would you mind giving Braxton a shout out?
Shout out, Braxton. Congratulations on your young little life. I hope you grow up to be very, very wealthy and do something nice with that money.
Thank you. And with that, I know people are going to ask, I do want to say get it right.
Yes.
But could you give us
there's hundreds of millions of dollars at risk at least. I ain't in a rush to see that get screwed up. So
that's what you're going to see. Sorry.
Well, yeah, like this is, in a lot of cases, cryptocurrency is people's life savings. Yes. And we see hacks all the time. I mean, there was a Solana bridge that was hacked for like $300 million a month or two ago. A lot of money, man. Now, here's what's so funny. The people associated in the ecosystem already had so much other money, they just refilled it. They lost like a couple $100 million, and they just chucked another couple $100 million in and did it over again. Only in crypto, man. I mean, if that were any other normal like legacy business, there's a 0% chance that money was coming back, dude. So yeah, I really care about security a lot.
Thank you for all you do.
Oh, we appreciate your efforts.
Go ahead. I'm not on stage. Go ahead. Ask a question.
Hello, Richard.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to see you.
Invisible man is asking me questions. It's fine. I'm an equal opportunity speaker. Hey, it's Sticker Guy. What's up, man? I met this guy in New York, Switzerland, and he gave me some stickers.
Yeah, I have a one sentence to say before my question. No, a couple of things. Why is nobody taking this opportunity? Like, there's only 4 people. You have the chance to talk to.
Maybe everyone's already hit me on Twitter like 100 times. It's possible. I see some faces in there I recognize.
Yes, I wanted to take this moment and thank everybody in the HEX community, and especially everybody who showed up at the conference. Thank you for being part of the community, and thank you for pushing all in the same direction. Thank you, Richard, for making this possible. Without you, this would obviously not have been possible.
Hey, man, I showed off my hamburger bag, and the price went up 30%, huh? Who's talking trash now, huh? Unboxing videos, yeah. Hate them.
Okay, and my question, I'm not sure if I asked the question earlier again, so I'll ask it again, because I'm like cheap.
Good.
What does it mean to you to be a good hexagon? Because you're like our leader and kind of our founder, but we are decentralized. So by the definition, we don't have a leader. And I would like to ask you as a hexagon, what's your take on that?
I think playing the maximum number, maybe not the maximum number, but I think playing primarily net sum positive games. So there's some games where it's net negative. So for instance, trading. Trading is you think the price is going to go up. Another guy thinks the price is going to go down. You fight each other to try and take each other's money. Neither of you wants the other person to have the other one's money. And then in the middle is a middleman that wants you to get beat up by fees, getting in out of position, wants you to get liquidated, wants you to lose it all. So the middleman makes you two guys fight, makes you both think you're going to get rich taking each other's money, and then the middleman gets rich. So that's an example of the vast majority of advertising in the cryptocurrency industry. The vast majority of regulatory allowed advertising, because they get licenses, and then the pay-per-click companies and the advertising companies just like, oh, they have a license, so let's let them go victimize our users now. And so, those are net negative games that I don't like. There are some games that can be played that are net positive. So in cryptocurrencies that have product market fit, such as HEX, and I believe Pulse Chain and PulseX, due to the fact that they've got more users than the HEX chat room. That's crazy to me. I mean, HEX has 40,000 users in the chat, and Pulse Chain has like 60 or 70,000.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like there's, a lot of traction, a lot of demand. And so if you get people to delay gratification and spend more time in the market instead of trying to time the market, that is a tried and true investment strategy for things that have product market fit. If you don't have product market fit and you bought a scam, holding the scam longer doesn't work. But if you do have something that really is working and has value and adds value to the world, and people see the value in it, and it has a durable competitive advantage, a walled garden, a moat, whether it be the community, the logo, the brand, the feature set, the market parameters, like if you look at HEX actually has the highest or nearly the highest volume on decentralized exchanges, except for Bitcoin, stablecoins, and Ethereum, except for those 3 things. But among other coins that aren't Bitcoin, Ethereum, or stablecoins, it has giant volume compared to the other coins, which is crazy to me because, who doesn't want a decentralized exchange that entirely removes counterparty risk? That's what we're here for. Cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk. So isn't this a perfect, wonderful, and they're also the thickest order books in the world as well. Like the thickest order books for Ethereum stable in the entire world are on decentralized exchange. Same for HEX, right? The thickest order books with best order execution in the world are on decentralized exchange. So I don't even remember the question. What was the question?
Could you maybe, because we really want to get HEX viral so we can pump our bags. Could you in your own live streams talk more about marketing? Because I know you talked a lot of it, but
it's a good point. It's a great point. Yeah,
because
should make it more actionable.
Yeah. Sorry, when we were when the Daytona happened, you were kind of a little mad on Twitter. about how everything went, and then you told us to write letters to people, but it's like I don't know anyone I can write to. So
I never said to write letter. Oh well, direct mail. Yeah,
if you
writing a letter and doing direct mail are slightly different. Your hand is less sore with the direct mail.
Who do I write it to?
Well, they sell these lists, right? Like you have it, you know where all the rich people live because they live in the same place and they have a zip code. And then you could just literally hand out flyers or pay the postal service to do it for you. It is an effective marketing method that gets around the gatekeeping trash of the world. There's a bunch of scumbags in this world that sell advertisements to people that victimize other people, but they won't allow cryptocurrency to advertise. So there are people in this world, lots of them, that will not accept HEX advertisements, but will accept margin trading advertisements, where the vast majority of people lose everything they put in. So, and then direct mail gets around that. So that's one of the nicest features of it. You know, stickers works. I don't know about you, but I think ATMs are one of the ways that people have been like having an ATM in a lot of countries is like a privilege. There's less and less ATMs all the time.
Yeah.
And so it seems like it's a nice place to on-ramp new users to maybe give them a better experience.
Bitfinesse is putting them on gas stations.
You know, on one part, I think vandalizing people's private property sucks. But on another part, I think that saving people from financial doom is awesome. And it's a similar kind of thing with El Salvador, where it's like, yo, should you like mandate that everyone has to accept Bitcoin? No, that seems totalitarian. But look at how it's going in Venezuela and Argentina, where their currencies are annihilated. And you're like, maybe this is a good trade. You know, it's hard to say. I can tell you that I have seen some people stick stickers some places and it's made me smile a lot. And I really haven't seen a sticker any place I haven't liked yet. Every single sticker that I've seen, I've been very happy about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what you're saying is 100% true. You know, the vast majority of hexagons were brought into Hex by you guys, not me. So amplifying your ability to make that positive impact in the world is totally worthwhile. And I will try and do better at that. Thanks for mentioning it. I mean, my guess is we could have people say, look, you've got to send this many emails, or you got to knock this many doors, or you got to chuck this much money into something. You got to get the word out there. I mean, look, some of you guys did 1,000,000% returns. You can afford to promote that. And it's not entirely selfless. It's partially selfless. It's not entirely selfless. This may enhance the value of something you care about. So thanks a lot, man. I see new guys. What's up, new guys?
Well, how the hex are you?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. I caught your plan words there. I see what you did there.
Glad you like it. What do you think of those lights on the wall?
I like it. I mean, from my perspective, they're backwards. They turn around. They rotate. Cool. Yeah, it looks nice. I have a laser at my house, too, when I have parties. I turn it on, and my laser doesn't do anything that nice. You spent more than I did. I can't program mine to do much. Right? Maybe I didn't learn to. You do that? Is that your work?
No, I just wanted to recognize the artist that we had here.
Nice.
I thought it was cool. I like lights.
It looks nice. It's cool, man. I'll tell you what, it looks way cooler when there's smoke, because right now you're just seeing the end point of the light. But when you put some smoke in there, you see the path of light. And then when you stand facing it, it creates shapes around your body that your body tends to perceive as actual like texture, like as surrounding, like it's changing the world you're in. So like adding some fog to lasers, 4X is the effect, at least for you guys that care about that stuff.
4X on the smoke. We went all the smoke.
Yep.
Well, on behalf of all Texans, I think I speak for us all when we want to invite you down. Next time you come to America, come see us, man.
Texas is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
One of the few places left where people care about freedom, which is why it's attracting people like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and many others, because freedom still has a chance of thriving there. So congratulations to you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for giving us the shot. Last question. What was your 3 favorite subjects in school?
Copying my friend's homework and getting B's because you could get a good grade with the least effort. And then, what was my actual favorite topic in school? I guess it would be science. I always liked science, physics. Didn't really care much for like geometry or anything like that. But, I mean, geometry is okay. But once you get into once they started teaching the unit circle and pre-calculus, I'm like, why? Why do I care about this? Tell me why I care. And they couldn't answer that question. Like now I know it's like the measurement of changing change, especially with like compounding interest and stuff. Like now I know why. But they could never get me to understand why I was learning that crap. And I was just like, yo, after pre-calc, like I'm done. Like I don't want to, I don't care about these triangles anymore. So I guess it was science, but like later in life where I did more of my learning that mattered, the real school, sales, influence, having like, I would say working with people became my most important focus later in life. And by later in life, I mean like 17, age 17. Like.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you, man. I see we have an education fan here, my bald friend here. I see you cheering on one of the answers.
Yes. Oh, hey, Richard. Yeah, because I'm a theoretical physicist by hobby. Nice. So like I like learning science stuff. So I'll comment.
Study what works.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm here with a question for you. But I first want to say, since I have this opportunity, I got to say thank you, man. Like, I'm a relatively new Hexican, so like, but
so you got to buy the dip, maybe.
Yes. Well, no, I bought it like 16 cents when it was on the way up. So, and then I kept buying as it was going up.
Hey, man, 16 is better than 56. So, congrats.
Yeah.
You get an extra three extra.
But I'm happy. So, because like, I want to thank you for creating something that's so like revolutionary that it has created this community with, people like Maddie who's doing this. Like, look at this. Like
it's very cool.
Giving me this opportunity to this is amazing.
You know what's awesome?
What's that?
A lot of these Hexicans you see making a huge impact in the community. It's the first time they've ever done anything like this. They never had YouTube channels before. They never threw events before. They never did marketing before. Like, we care so much about these things that we're willing to do things for the first time and take risks, and it pays off.
Exactly.
By the way, as far as the price goes, the people that made the most money in Hex sat through the most brutal dips. Either bought or sat through the most brutal dips. The more brutal dips you sat through, the more ROI you saw.
There you go. That's what I'm sitting through this one. Yeah, man, it's funny you say that. Like, I'm one of those people who I've started to do things that I've never done before because of Hex. Like, I had a Twitter account when I maybe tweeted 5 times or something, but now like started doing it and my followers are growing, everything.
Nice, man.
I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel,
What's your name?
My name is Scott V.
Pleasure to meet you, Scott.
On Twitter, it's Scott V,
all right.
AKA 1T. It's Scott with 1T. So my nickname is 1T. Anyway, man, I'm trying to pump our bags and raise awareness. I'm an artist.
We have to work on that. So transformational vocabulary. We have to find. I'm trying to enhance the value of our investments or something. Like pump our bags sounds so trash.
It really does. Now that you bring that up, that's
it's like having a Disney princess and be like, look at that hot slut. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, but we could find better language, I bet. Like,
all right. I'll say I'm trying to help raise awareness. And
hey, man, it takes. Listen, I had to learn how to do things. Not everyone's vocabulary is perfect. I mean, I was tweeting some banger comments for International Women's Day. I had to delete like half my tweets. I'm like, these ain't getting as much likes as I'd hoped. Too spicy.
So the question I wanted to ask you, man, was, I'm making this song. It's called the Pulse Chain Anthem. Okay. And I reached out to you a while back.
All right.
And asked if it was
You need me to drop some fire lyrics for you?
Well, no.
Hit me on Twitter and
yes,
Telegram,
actually.
Hopefully we'll see it.
I reached out to you on Telegram and asked if it was okay that I use like some of your audio from like one of your streams.
Sure.
And You see, you actually responded. You said yes, but I just wanted to like get an actual, just to make sure, because I was hoping to play it at Nagabo's party later.
If you're pumping my bag, sir, I allow you to use my audio with. I do reserve the right to rug pull you later if what you did sucks too bad. Just to make it good.
All right, and then the last thing before I go, man, what was that? Oh, thank you, Freddie. Freddie Quotes. Yes.
Freddie Quotes made the Hexagon anthem, and it was awesome. It's a banger.
He's awesome. So the last thing I was going to say, I'll go back to the science. Aubrey DeGray is here, right? I don't know if he's still here. I want to talk to you, sir, because I have some cutting edge theoretical physics that may help in your life extension plans.
Nice.
So I would love to talk to you.
Thanks, Black Iron Man.
Thanks, Richard.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Richard. Dragon.
Hey there. How's it going?
I'm so impressed with your ability to respond to, I can't even imagine how many tweets, Telegram messages.
Used to be more. I used to answer everybody. I can't now. Sorry.
Right.
Possible.
And you responded to me a couple of times. And what I want to know is so I made a huge mistake, which is I sacrificed to the HEX contract. And I know I'm not the only person who's made some really ridiculous mistakes. And I wanted to help, volunteer to help organize whatever might be done. And one of the developers actually said a cool idea was there's the possibility of rolling back stuff on the pulse chain. I know it's a lot of work, but also...
this is the most fire comment ever. Hey, Richard, can we edit the consensus system for the fork? I don't know. I actually don't even know if it's possible, truthfully.
Okay. Well,
I don't, because we're not editing any. The only edits we're making to the pulse chain, we're not actually we're editing Ethereum values, right? Like for the pulse sacrifice airdrop, we're doing that, but that's it. Like we're not editing any contract variables or any contract balances. Like the AMM bot just executes as any other normal network participant would. It's not editing things really. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But I mean, I've registered your comment like, hey, I wrecked myself. Please unwreck me. I have a lot of those. I duly noted.
And I was wondering if I could be supportive in a way of which at least funneling in everybody else who wrecked themselves in the database for you.
Ton of you. I mean, look, the biggest thing I have now is people get hacked. And they feel stupid about getting hacked, which is why they never tell you how they got hacked. Because in hindsight, they're like, oh my God, how did I fall for that? So they keep it hidden, which kind of sucks. It's harder to warn the next guy. For you guys that don't know, if you send funds to the contract address, they're gone. You lose. Don't ever send funds directly to the contract address. And it's not just HEX. It's almost every ERC20. If you send stuff directly to the contract address, it's gone. Not gone, but frozen forever. Usually. Right. So yeah, I wish people would stop getting hacked, but like a lot of the guys are getting hacked, like they have poor English, you can barely help them, and then it's I don't know have a way to solve it, truthfully.
Is there a possibility of offering, and this is totally up to you, but an airdrop to people who made such a mistake? I know like you're all dumb. Here's an airdrop.
Oh my God, I guess it's possible, but my God. I mean, I see people making a lot of airdrop-based coins. Why don't you make one? Go type ERC20 generator, and it would cost you maybe $20 to go generate your own ERC20 airdrop. The problem is paying the gas to deliver it to people. That's expensive. I mean, that might cost you $15 per user currently. And then if you made it claim-based with there are some open source claim tools out there you could kind of use, then they're just going to have to pay the $15 instead of you. It doesn't really save you that much fees overall. And this is the reason we're creating Pulse Chain in the first place, is because the Ethereum fees are too high. You can't just push money to people on Ethereum in an airdrop because it costs you $15 a user. It's terrible. It's terrible. They're not even users. They're just people you chucked money at. Direct mail is cheaper. Door to door is cheaper. Literally for $15, you could pay a high school kid to spend 2 hours talking to people door to door. Like it's crazy. Like how many, you can reach a lot more people in 2 hours than you could actually just sending them an airdrop. But I guess it's more targeted. Like, they already have a wallet. Duly noted. I finally met one of the English-speaking Rect guys. He's here. Dude, for the record, if someone direct messages you, they're trying to scam you. So do not, if they have my profile pic and they DM you, probably scamming you. If they have a hot girl's profile pic, definitely scamming you. Don't make any extra mistakes. Like, I know, you're here at the event. You're probably really smart at this stuff now. And who hasn't sent stuff to the contract truthfully? Like, it's somehow magically, like, the copy paste is easy to screw up when you're on the internet all day long every day. So yeah, I mean, I've duly noted. I don't know how to fix it, but it's in my head now because you mentioned it. So thanks.
All right, thank you so much.
My pleasure, man. What does the barcode on your neck say, by the way? I'm curious. Is it a barcode? Your tattoo?
Oh, Eco Davin made stickers for everyone.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right.
So I got
it's a HEX sticker. Oh, yeah. Killer. They're like cars. Wow. Nice biceps, bro. All right, who's next? The girls. Let's get a girl in here. Now, usually I would never do that because I think that's genderist as crap. Like, I hate when people are like, we need more of X and Y because I am a socialist and I don't think differences can exist and crap like that. Like, I'm allergic to most of those things. So, like, every day there's a new holiday for something I'm not. And you're like, hey, it's holiday of something I'm not again. Cool, I feel worse about myself. I don't know. But I mean, look, I like Christmas and I'm not Santa. But I look like Santa. Maybe that's why I like Christmas. Who's talking next? Yeah. I have two girls labeled stage. We'll go with the one smiling. She seems happier. Go to the top one.
Hi.
She's not going to burn me as hard.
Hi, Richard. My name is Amber. I prefer ladies, but I'll take girls today.
What did I use? Did I use girls? Is that a thing? I didn't know that we had, like, I didn't even know that the names, like, mattered so much.
Men, boys?
Well, it depends where you live, right? Like, I mean, in the UK, I think boys is more common. Lads.
It's all good.
Like,
it's all good.
Anyway.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah. Richard, I'm a business owner, and I've been watching from the sidelines, not just seeing what your vision is for the community and what you want to do in the world, but I've been watching from the sidelines saying, like, this is amazing what is being created behind the scenes that nobody sees is going on. And so as you find yourself going from vision to executing these huge visions and bringing a community behind you and enrolling them in that vision into the day-to-day of executing behind the scenes, what have you learned about yourself during this journey?
Well, I'm a comfort eater. And so as the stress, like when I was doing the world tour, like the Europe tour, and just going like city to city, meeting Hexicans and stuff, I was losing weight. I was eating healthy, you know? But then because like the things you're supposed to do are simpler. Like I don't have as much a decision space. Like I don't have to wonder whether what I'm doing is optimal or not because it's such a more restricted thing. Like you're always pressed for time. So there's only so much you can do. But then once my decision space gets larger and I'm back in my home base and I've got a million things I'm supposed to do, then the stress gets you. You're like, for me, I have maximum stress when things are going well because I realize all the things I'm not doing that I could be. But when things suck and I have to do one obvious thing, I feel good because it's like, look, I'm doing the best I can do. So for me, I'm always kind of measuring like, and I don't suggest you live this way. It's crap. Like it's if you can find a way to happily produce without torturing yourself about the paths not taken, do that. Like it's totally stupid and ineffective. So I'm not the pinnacle of performance. And if things get rough enough, you're like sandwich time, you know, and then it's cascade. So then you overeat and then you get tired, then you go to sleep and then your schedule's backwards. And then I've lived like my whole life with my schedule backwards. I don't know if this was I'm not sure that explaining to you why I'm a fat dude is exactly the answer you were looking for into what I learned about myself.
So ironically, I didn't know which direction you would go or what you would say, but I'm actually a productivity coach for business owners.
Okay.
And that's exactly what
Well, there
I
you
work
go.
with them on,
Good
is
answer,
about
man.
time and enjoying the journey of being a business owner. So you just sharing your own perception of what time is, and when you have a high priority, and maybe how you eat a sandwich instead of do the big thing right in front of you, like whatever that looks like for you, that's real talk. And for anyone that's listening that is going after their dreams, like that's really what happens, is the stuff in our heads that we have to work through so we can accomplish amazing things like you're doing. So thank you for sharing that.
I'll tell you an enlightening one. Apparently I don't stop. How many people, given the opportunities that I've been given, would do things so wildly different than I do? I mean, apparently the world is not enough. like apparently total vertically integrated domination is what I really want at my heart, because like measuring my behavior, that's what I put my time into. I have the resources to spend my time a lot of different ways. I mean, I've seen pictures of Jeff Bezos now. He's jacked. He's on roids. He's like ripped now. And he's just screwing around on his yacht, you know. I'm not doing that. Wouldn't mind the ripped, but like, you know. So like, apparently, I guess one thing I learned about myself is that I really am like the grand champion of delayed gratification and never giving up, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Just to close that up, I'll say thank you. Thank you for dedicating your life and your time. When we talk about this one life that we get to live, and you've chosen to do this not just for yourself, but for everyone. My son is in the back of the room and he's here listening to you. He also hears you a lot on YouTube at home. You've made a huge change. And the journey that my husband and I have gone on, because the first time he brought cryptocurrency to me, I told him, I don't have time for that. Don't talk to me about that. I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. And we're not even a year later, and you have absolutely even changed the way that I, see the world. And I thank you for that, because anytime I can get an invitation to see something different. So thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful question.
My turn? Cool. Hey, Richard, so good to hear you, man. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
I got a serious issue that is yet to be addressed. In the Staker app community, you have like shrimps and shells and squids and dolphins, and each one of those kingdoms has their own ruler. In the UFC, all the champions get to talk to Dana White in person. They got him on speed dial.
Yeah.
And as the undisputed master of all turtles, I would like to have a hotline set up so that during your streams, a little panel will light up next to your Louis Vuitton stuff, and I can talk to you about some turtle shit.
It is an interesting idea. How many different classifications are there? I don't remember. What is there, like 7 stratas? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, look, bro, like if you have, so usually what I do as far as the messages go is I kind of prioritize people to like their utility usually. So like Hexo makes my thumbnails for me, and even made a channel of people that makes my thumbnails for me. And so it's like super useful, because otherwise I have butt ugly, terrible thumbnails. So when he messages me, I respond, devs, getting responded to quick. Admins in the channels getting responded to. Dudes that I know, like either they're influencers or whatnot, like I respond to usually quicker. I've never thought about like making just how much money you have kind of the metric, but like, yeah, I don't know. If there's only 7 of you guys, I could accept 7 messages. Sure. It's literally like 7 heads of the different things. That doesn't sound too bad. I'm just guessing there's 7 levels, right? So message me on Twitter and Telegram, both, so that I see you, and then I will respond to you. And if your questions don't suck, I'll keep responding to you. Who's next?
I think it's me.
Great. How shall I refer to you?
Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
It says my mic is muted.
No, it says you're muted, but you're not. It's trolling.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Hi, it's nice to finally speak to you. I've been watching you for about a month now. It took me a while to get in.
A whole month? I feel so sorry for you.
A
My
whole
God.
month, but now I dedicate most of my time to you.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, you got a lot of content. There's some good stuff in there.
I've scrolled past you a couple times and I seen your chain and I'm like, well, who is this guy with this big ridiculous chain? It took me a while to click on you and to realize how brilliant you are.
Thank you. See, the chain worked, everybody. The hamburger bag is next to on-ramp users. It matters. I mean, when people scroll by, all they see is your thumbnail. That's it. That's all they see.
I kept seeing the chain.
Yeah.
But
So what's up?
okay, so I'm kind of new to crypto. I've only been in for a couple of years, and it's very overwhelming. It's a lot to learn.
A couple of years in crypto is a lifetime.
Well,
like
when
a
you're
long
doing it on
time.
the side.
Yeah.
So, my background is credit. I do repair personal credit. I help businesses with their business credit. So I'm very familiar with how corrupt those systems are.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Your best bet is to complain against everyone and hope they don't complain back. Like, yay, one guy didn't respond. That gets off the credit report. Yay.
Yeah, it's a fight. I'm trying to kind of grow more towards the crypto space at this point. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the airdrop. I don't have a lot of clarification.
Which one? We got a couple.
The world's largest airdrop.
Pulse chain.
Pulse chain, the
Yep.
copies of the PRC20s from the ERC20s. And,
Yep.
How much do you project that's going to cost you?
Which part of it do you mean?
Giving away all those coins.
Oh, this is a hard question, but I will tell you that just idling, not on mainnet, the server bill is 50 grand a month. Just idling, doing nothing. And if you look at the advertisements I have for developers, the range that's quoted is 175 to 250K a year. And I don't know what my time's worth. But those are the primary costs, right? Like you're not having more or less PRC20 copies doesn't affect those numbers at all, you know? So I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for. Is that the answer? Like, what does it cost to make and maintain a cryptocurrency?
More so, like I said, I'm still kind of new to crypto. During the pandemic, my son brought a picture of an ape home to me on his phone and told me to spend $2 grand for it.
Oh God.
No, I still hear to this day that Mom, this ape would have sold for $250,000. So
what's it worth now?
$250,000.
Really? Still interesting. Well, I guess the bear market's not here yet. I think when the bear market is here, I think the monkey pictures go to zero first. Is my opinion. It seems like a reasonable bet.
I know. I told him, I was like, "Are you crazy?" I was like, "I'm not spending $2,000 for a picture on your phone."
Yeah, it's weird.
Art.
Yeah, I mean, art's weird too, right? Like, this is $1 million watch. When I get my diamond bracelet on it, it's like a 900K watch now. That seems unreasonable. Actually, it might in US dollars. This might be $1 million now with just this bracelet. But like, if I cannot, in good conscience, suggest people buy JPEGs for high dollar prices. I really just can't. I don't think they have a good barrier to entry. I don't think they have a track record of holding their value. I don't think people that bought CryptoKitties instead of Ethereum is better. I think they did worse. So that was the first NFT project, or nearly the first one that got a lot of traction. Did I get your questions right? I don't know. I hope.
I'm sorry.
Did I answer your questions right?
Well, more so, I was wondering, how are you going to be able to make copies of everyone's wallet?
Well, it's just data.
I'm sorry.
So it's like it's literally all blockchain is a database full of values. That's all it is. Okay. It's also, they just happen to be the world's slowest and most expensive databases, but they are that way to provide censorship resistance. So, you know, the important thing about creating a copy of, I mean, look, when my developers are experimenting with code, they're doing it on local to their computer copies of the entire blockchain. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. So you can download Hard Hat or what's the most common one? I can't remember. It's been a long since I've had my own developer environment set up that deeply. I just use Visual Studio Code right now. I don't like run my own blockchains. So running your own local blockchain is free to do. What brings value to blockchains are users. And so copy pasting things is not valuable. Improving things to a large enough degree that it will on-ramp thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of users, that is valuable. And so in blockchains, it's not really the code that has the value. It's the community that has the value. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So making a copy paste of Ethereum is what every one of my devs does locally. There's no money in it. You could do it for free right now. Go download Hard Hat. Google it, Hard Hat Ethereum. You can download the entire blockchain to your local computer and change all the values you want. But if you want it to have real value in the real world, that takes social consensus. And we have it. Lucky us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Let's take Baby Man, because he's got the highest load. Like, it could go wrong for him at any moment.
What's going on, Richard? How you doing?
Doing
Just
all right,
wanted you to meet one of the youngest Hexicans in history.
Hey there.
Here. She's got a crap ton of T-shares set up for her, 5555 already in place. One of our questions, well, first off, thank you so much for everything you do. You're absolutely amazing. Maddie, thank you for throwing this conference. It was absolutely amazing. We both appreciate it. One of the questions we have is, where the hell did you come up with that game theory of the T-share? Because that thing is ingenious.
It evolved. It evolved over time. It just kept getting better and better. Originally, there was no referral program. Added a referral program. Originally, it paid less. Didn't pay the person that clicked. Added those features. Originally, there was no adoption amplifier. Added that feature. I don't remember when time locking got introduced. I don't even remember. But there was probably a time when there was no time locking. And then there was a time when there was. And then, you know, trying to make sure that people compounding in the system would always outperform people trying to compound outside the system took effort. And that's where the T-share was born. The share price was born from making sure that you could never pull money out and put it back in and pull money out, put it back in, pull money out, and put it back in and compound it outside and then beat somebody that just put it in once. So that's where the price came from. And the T-share itself is really just a way to divide up a thing. It's just similar to any other form of share. So I think the share price is the most innovative mechanic there. More so than, I mean, I think using Ethereum address as a referral code was innovative as well. I think adoption amplifier was pretty innovative. A lot of innovation in there. Some of these things turned out even better than you could have expected. So like emergency end stake penalties penalize these hackers that just go and empty someone's wallet when they hack it. Didn't even anticipate that, right? It was an extra benefit. Yeah, like we got really lucky with all of the amazing game theory. And we may ask, like, how did you come up with all this? Well, a lot of this I copied from the real world, right? So there's a lot of successful endeavors that pay yield at a certain rate. Like the parameter of paying 20% extra interest per extra year that you lock, I took directly from the existing CD time deposit market, where they pay you 20% more interest for every extra year you lock. Now, they pay you less at some point. Like once your blocks become long enough, they start paying you less. I guess in theory, we kind of did that too, because our max lock maxed at 15. But originally it was going to be 50, but they lowered the gas limit. So we had to reduce the maximum lock, or we would overflow the block. You couldn't fit all the transactions in a single block. Then we would have had to write logic that scaled across blocks, and it would have been very hard. I hope that answers your question. I guess a shorter answer would be like, I'm a really smart dude with game theory.
As it come to you in a vision, but man, it's amazing.
Just evolved. I mean, it evolved over a couple of years.
Yeah,
it was a progress. It didn't happen at once.
Appreciate it, man. It's nice meeting you, talking to you. I'm Corey Geary, and this is Allin.
Good meeting you guys. Happy to have you on board.
Thank you.
Hello, testing.
Hey,
Richard. My name's Shillit. So I wrote a little.
Your name is Shillit?
Yes.
How do you spell that?
SHILL space IT. Well, it's a Twitter.
Oh, that's like your screen name, right? Okay.
No.
I thought your real name was Shillit. I was like, man, how apropos. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I dedicated my entire existence now to like shilling your.
All right. And hey, man, you took my joke from me. I was about to make a pun word there, but you already did it. I like it.
So, first of all, TYRH to you, TYRH. Oh, TY to Maddie for putting this together. So I've been watching you for at least 7 years, right? And so I feel like in the past 7 years, as you grew, so have I.
Nice.
So I'm from New York. I am an immigrant from Moscow and a refugee, political refugee. And then, so thank you for the shout out to the Ukrainian people, Slava Ukraine, to them. And to the Russian people that are experiencing this madness. So I'm full of wild ideas, and I'm gonna make this short and quick and finish it off with a question to you or two. In my world view and my philosophical views, you represent freedom, liberty, and glory. And in New York, the Statue of Liberty represents freedom and liberty to individuals, sovereign individuals. So I want you to put it on your radar and every Hexican's radar that if we are as strong as I think we are, a community with strength, I feel like you are sort of an icon for a lot of us, representing moral values. And, I want to shout out, I would put it out there that maybe we should look forward to building a liberty statue of you, maybe like 2 or 3 times bigger.
I'll try and lose weight to save you guys some metal.
So this is my question to you, right? If we were to plan and design and finance this, would you be okay with it? And would you?
As a guy that's in this for glory, yeah, that sounds pretty cool, man.
Okay.
That's you and me. Yeah, it sounds cool.
And a follow-up question to that question. I'm happy that you would accept it, first of all.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody would love this idea, right?
I mean, neat.
So follow-up question, like if you had 1 or 2 accessories, right, from your list of accessories, what would it be on the statue?
Which
on the statue?
Oh, I mean, hex necklace, obviously. I mean, top hat, you're not going to have branding issues. A lot of the other stuff I have is mostly only valuable because of its logo. If this were just a styrofoam airplane, no one would care. It would look terrible. So, I would probably skip those things just for trademark, because you're not going to be able to license it, most likely. So then, but even, I mean, top hat gets seen so rarely. It's a good question. I mean, I haven't really thought about what the most iconic Richard Hart kind of accessories are that you could use that aren't brand problems. You know what I mean? That you don't need to get licensing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe microphone and top hat. I think that's most people's experience of me, maybe. But the top hat only because it's been was my profile picture for 5-6 years, something like that. But I'll think about it.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes a sick watch and a. But here's the thing. Usually, I mean, statues. I mean, the Statue of Liberty has a pretty killer hat. So, interesting. I have to think about it. It's a good question.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
Testing 1, 2.
You're there.
Hello, Richard Hart. My name is Anthony. My name on Twitter is Tap4Life1. First of all, let me just say thank you for everything you have done. I'm also a recent new Hexagon. Just got in this past July. Actually, the BitBoy block around the blockchain show. That's what onboarded me into you. Right.
Glad to hear that.
Thanks.
It's nice when people like don't censor you and allow you to have speech, and you know, it helps you make the world a better place. It's cool.
Exactly. I'm trying to tell my family, my friends about HEX, about crypto, about investing. We're not taught this. We're not told to save money. We're told to work harder and harder to make money. I'm trying to break down to everybody that the dollars you're getting now is becoming more and more worthless. As I'm trying to explain to everybody what I believe is going on, what I think is a better asset or better waste of your time or money, I'm being told that I'm a little bit too upfront, a little bit too aggressive. What would your piece of advice or suggestion be to try to get no corners, to understand where you're coming from without being too upfront?
To tell you the truth, it's just easier to find other people to talk to. I mean, this is similar to me.
I've been told that over and over.
Yeah. I mean, if I go to a club and I see a girl that I think is cute, I want to see if she's fun to talk to. I walk up, I say something, whatever. Hey, what's up? Say whatever. It almost don't matter what you say. And then you just see how they respond. If the response sucks, it's not because they're bad. And it's not because you're bad. It's because people are in different places in their life. She might have a boyfriend. She might have had a bad day at work. She might be there with 100 friends. She might have had too much to drink. She might be actually mentally ill. You don't know. Like, it's a world of responses. And you have to just roll with it and be like, yo, do you want to spend all your time in a bad conversation with someone that's obviously not having fun? Or do you just want to go talk to that person? Right. Or leave, go to a new place? And so for me, you know, I only enjoy conversations with people that are also enjoying the conversation. Well, I mean, I don't know, debates are all right. Like, I like to kill a person in a debate too, but usually it's conversations with the other person enjoying it, usually. And so if you have the opportunity to switch to having a conversation that's more fun with someone that's more receptive, I think that's the right way to do it. But if you don't, and you're stuck with what you got, you need to speak to them from what already influences them. So if someone's real religious, I can lead them down a path. So I could lead them down the, is suicide okay? No, it's not okay. You're not allowed to kill yourself. But can you find hacks? Can you just get like a really dangerous job, not wear your seatbelt? Is there like, oh no, that's not cool? Okay, well, what if you just don't invest in the technology that would have saved you? Could you kill yourself that way? And so you can lead a person where you want them to go by bridging it to where they already are. But you got to know where they are. And so, you know, a person that doesn't believe suicide is wrong is going to be totally unaffected by that line of logic. And it's similar in cryptocurrency. It's like, do you like having to beg the bank to let you spend your money? Do you like having to beg the credit card to let you spend your money? Do you like getting interest rates that are like, do you like holding something that only goes down in value forever? Is that okay? Do you like the prices of everything going up crazy? You don't like those things? Well, I only know of one solution to that, and it's this. And so you have to start the conversation from something they care about. And if you start it from someplace that you care and they don't, you're blown out. You have no hope. You're done. And so a lot of that, if you're speaking to the things they care about, it won't seem pushy to them because you're talking about stuff they care about, and you just have to find out what it is. Maybe they care about financial freedom. Maybe conspiracy theories, to tell you the truth, seem wildly popular. So even that, like, even that angle, right? Like, and they're making it so easy. Like this Klaus Schwab dude that's wearing like Star Trek looking evil dude outfit in his JPEG and saying stuff like you should eat bugs and own nothing. It's like, man, this is the easiest target I ever seen in my life. I mean, they used to be, he even out front just says New World Order, global reset straight up. That used to be hidden. They used to try and keep that a secret. He's just saying it straight up. So even the conspiracy angle, which unfortunately it's a public and open conspiracy. It's not like they're not even hiding it anymore. They're like, yeah, we want to give you a chip in your body. We want you to take the chemicals we tell you to take. We want you to use the money we tell you to use. We're going to turn it off whenever we want. If you don't do politically what we want, we're going to turn off your ability to buy food. Oh, and you're not going to own anything, and you're going to eat bugs. You're like, you guys, this is really your public platform? How is this getting traction? I have no idea. How is remove everyone's freedom getting traction? What? So I think that finding one of those angles that they do care about, everyone cares about something. Finding that bridge from what they care about to what you want them to care about that gives them what they want, that's, I believe, the key to appearing not pushy. Though you can also slow down how quickly you speak, face them parallel instead of head on. There's like body language and tonality things you can do as well that may help. That's my answer. I hope you like it.
Before I go, I want to say thanks to Maddie for setting this up. This has been an awesome experience. This has been my first time down here in Las Vegas. It's been a very fun time. Shout out to all you Hexicans. Y'all have really made me feel like family. I've talked to some of y'all. And y'all thought I was around crypto for years, but no, I was just listening to y'all and everything that's followed suit. And another big shout out to Nardo, wherever you are. He actually got me down here. If it wasn't for him, I would not be down here hanging out with y'all.
I got another tip for you too. There are logical fallacies that don't make sense that you can just use. So appeal to expert, that's a different word for it. So appeal to popularity is one, and appeal to expertise is another one, but I think it has a different name. I like to bust this one out. It's like, are you smarter than Elon Musk? No. Okay. He's the richest man in the world? Yeah. Okay. He buys cryptocurrency. Would you smarter than him? That's a terribly stupid logical fallacy, but it's very effective. So like if that's what compels people to something that might save them financially, so be it. I busted that one out on Peter Schiff. I'm like, yo, you're way stupider than Elon. Elon buys crypto. It worked. I'm like, hey, I got points for a logical fallacy. Cool. Who's next?
Hey, Richard, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yep.
Hey, buddy. Do you prefer to go by Richard or Rich or RH? What's your favorite?
I've always had different nicknames based on where I lived. It's always been mixed up. So you pick whatever one you like. You can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Classic.
Hey, my name is Victor. Came here to Vegas from Texas. I want to echo, Texas represent. That's right. I want to echo what my friend said earlier, man. Anytime you're coming to America, you come down to Texas. I got a room for you. I got a couch you can sleep on. Nice. You don't even have to use the bathtub to wash your underwear. I got a washer and dryer just for you, buddy.
Excellent.
No, I just had a
time-consuming doing that bathtub washing. It actually takes some time.
No, I had a quick question for you, man. I just I've been curious. Have you ever put more thought into getting like an agent or a publicist or anything like that?
I need one desperately.
It's getting bigger.
This year, which the months are ticking by now. I don't even know, what is it now? I don't know the date. Oh my God, it's the third month already. You know, this year was supposed to be about infrastructure. And then you get bogged down in stuff, right? So it's like shooting this documentary took time. Paying for the stupid diamond takes time. You're like, you know, these little real world things, they interrupt your day and make you do stuff that you're not used to doing. And it's like the solution and the goal of this year is still infrastructure. And so what does infrastructure look like? I used to have 150 employees back in 2003 and really 2002. So, you know, 20 plus years ago, I had 150 employees. Well, how many do I have now? Quite fewer. And, you know, I probably should get back into something of that form. There are things that can be better in HEX. It would be nice if someone could pay for customer service. It would be nice. currently it's just a community, and it works pretty well. But it would be nice if there was customer service, you know, but it's just hard. It's like, how do you keep your customer service reps from stealing the keys from everybody? Nightmare hard, you know? So you have like the first thing when they call in is going to have to be like, no matter what the next person that talks to you says, do not give them your seed words no matter what. Like, it would be hard, right? And then there's all these like MetaMask replacement, you know, we've seen them performing censorship. They accidentally censored my site. I'm like, yo, it wasn't accidental, but it was like they blocked it for something that I had nothing to do with. And the censorship is just crazy. And to what end? It's not benefiting the world. And so we have to hit these low-hanging fruit first. Consensus Network, PulseX, Pulse Chain, PulseX, MetaMask replacement, you know, world's largest airdrop, save hexagons from these high fees, reduce the fees on Ethereum. Like, that's our low-hanging fruit. But then, like, get a publicist that does all that work I said to the other dude to do. Like, find the person that actually handles the scheduling and get me on these shows to talk about cool stuff and have cool conversations, you know, to get better ideas out in the world. Yeah, it needs to be done. My biggest problem is finding people that will do what they tell you they're going to do. You hire a search engine optimization firm, they're going to take your money, you ain't going to get no rank. Not any word that matters. You hire a reputation management firm, I imagine they don't do a good job. Finding people that will actually do what they say they're going to do is extremely hard. And you just have to be willing to like hire 4 guys and fire 3 and pay 4 times as much as you would have otherwise in the beginning. That seems like the only way to solve that particular issue. Because word of mouth, it's like, I don't have somebody to ask, like, hey, who does your reputation management and booking and scheduling and stuff? And do they have extra capacity to do me? Like, it's hard, right? It's solvable, right? But I've got these other things I have to solve first. So like hiring that person to get, right now, I have things to do that are actually more important than interviews. But for glory's sake and for scaling, I think that they're very important. And within a couple months, they probably take primary importance. So like, yeah, hire a publicist. Got it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Agree.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I think
pleasure.
I speak for a lot of us here. You're a personal hero of mine, and
thanks, man.
The things you speak about, I mean, they're really important, and not a lot of people are talking about it. And thank you for taking the time. And hey, did you get a chance to watch any of the conference past couple days?
I didn't actually.
No,
which makes me sad because I know you guys are probably talking about awesome stuff. Yeah. So I hope that if there's some outlier, like 3 or 4 hours of really outstanding content, I might dip in. But like, once again, I want to watch it, but I know that there's things that I need to be doing. Like, I should be manually spot checking the sacrifice balances to see that they match up with block explorers personally, so that we can make those public. Like, we want to launch this version 2.5 testnet within a week, and like, that comes up very quickly. So I would rather be manually inspecting sacrifice balances than nearly anything else.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Maddie.
Hi, Richard.
Hi there. How's it going?
I'm Georgia. How are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you, sir. I am here representing moms in crypto. All the mothers that are, go girls! All the moms that are at home. So this, most of 99% of your followers are here helping the convention. Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie.
Maddie has been non-stop since the convention started. I've never seen anyone work so hard.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you.
He cares about your mental health as well.
He has done an incredible job, as well as all the YouTubers that are here. I'm a groupie. I'm here seeing all the people that supported you. Being here in front of you, Richard, is a dream come true.
Nice.
I might not have a rap song or the formula to longevity. I did not even bring cookies.
That's okay. That's part of the formula for longevity, actually.
But I have something. I have a voice, and I have the control of my children's education.
Nice.
And so a lot of the mothers out there. We're here. I'm here representing all the mothers. We're supporting you. We're supporting everyone out there who's doing something for the future of our children, for our future. I've been waiting for HEX my entire life.
Nice. Well,
so thank you.
I like it. I am also a fan of HEX. I like it a lot.
I know. And you know what? You deserve all your glory. You deserve the glory that you're working so hard for.
Trying.
You even deserve a fan club. I created your first ever decentralized fan club for a crypto god.
Which platform? Which platform did you do it on?
The Richard Hart fan club on Instagram.
You are the Insta. Nice. I seen. I was looking at your when you tag me. It like shows up in my messages. I was looking at it today.
Yes,
I like it.
I have time on my hands.
I appreciate it. Nice stuff.
But thank you, Richard. Thank you.
I don't spend much time on Insta at all. So
I know you don't, but we all do, and we enjoy it. And guys, please put HEX everywhere. Put Pulse Chain. Put the name of Richard Hart everywhere. I know what I'm talking about. You need.
Thank you.
I'm a PTA mom, guys. You need to.
I appreciate it.
To be here took guts. To be from the chair, in front of a camera, in front of millions of people, in front of Richard Hart, took guts. Imagine what he has to do every day for us.
I love it.
So
thanks, guys.
please,
thank you.
Like, subscribe, add HEX to everything. You have a PTA meeting, whatever you do, just put the word HEX, Pulse Chain, Pulse HEX, and all of Richard's projects. I don't know anything else.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Please. Thank you, Richard.
It's my pleasure. I'll keep on working.
And your mom will be very proud of you.
Yeah, I talk to her a lot. She likes me. She watches
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. There's all people waiting.
Who's next?
I love you. I love you.
Thank you, darling. I love all you guys. You're best.
Hey, Richard.
What's up? How's it going?
Wow. I am so thankful. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. My life has totally changed, and I'm empowered to do a lot of things that the legacy system was taking a long time for me to get there. So my question is not for me. Your authenticity and the community's freedom and our focus is what's critical, and super thankful for what Maddie has done here and what all of us are doing, because we are a community, and that is what it's about. And so I'm kind of a placeholder for a question that somebody else wants to ask. I don't know if you know Team Money. Do you know Team Money from the community?
Yeah, old school. He was one of the very first.
Is it okay if he asks you a question?
Team Money, I believe, was the first human being to enter the HEX chat when I created it.
Wow.
The first, I think. I think he was the first admin. Yeah. If it's the Team Money, I think it is.
He wasn't able to stay in the line, so I was just going to save his place. But is that okay?
It might be a different Team Money. Like the Team Money I know, I think he works.
Yeah, it's him.
Okay, all right.
Is that okay, Maddie? Can I go grab him?
Whatever. We'll cycle to somebody else. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll just go to somebody.
We'll just cycle to somebody else. Do what you need to do, man. So for you guys.
Go ahead. Okay.
I'd have to go get him. He's not here. Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go get him.
Okay, I'll get him.
I don't know. It's up to Maddie. I'm not the bouncer. I don't know what's going on. Watch this go wrong. It's so funny. It might be the wrong. Let's see.
What's up, guys?
Hello there. So do I have you? So first, we need to make sure, because I had this happen once before. Are you the Team Money? So there's a Team Money that was the first guy in the HEX chat room, but it might not be you. Is it you? Or are you different Team Money?
I'm a different Team Money. It's freedomtv.info. I'm the co-organizer of the first Las Vegas meetup, HEX meetup.
Nice.
What's up, guys?
Hey there.
We crushed the tank. We had the tanks and crushed the cars. Nice. That was my brother Louis put that out there, and we're doing crazy stuff so that you guys can have a good time here in Vegas. I'm here from Vegas. Anytime you're here in Vegas, Richard, you might mi casa es tu casa, my
maybe
friend.
One day. Thanks, man. Thanks.
So, yeah, I mean, my question, if I can go into the questions now.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. And well, just a little bit about myself. I know we've never met, and I respect you immensely. You know, I'm a proud member of the Hexagon community. I believe, you know, I believe in your projects, every single one of them. You're the only, I've been in crypto since 2013. You're the only founder that's put out great projects. And it's been a pleasure to market your products.
Thanks, man. Well, that's very kind of you.
Also, you know, we co-sponsored the Crypto Sparbook guys, the 555, right? Nice. Thank you very much for that privilege, Crypto Sparbook, to put that out there, because we want to evangelize for HEX and Pulse.
Nice. Well, and thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. So I have this opportunity. They called me up. It's Crypto WorldCon. It's in your hometown, well, Miami. I know you're from Fort Lauderdale, but it's in Miami.
Yeah.
It's on April 1st and 2nd. They want me to speak for 20 minutes. My question to you, I'm willing to forego my 20 minutes. I already spoke to the organizers. They are okay with you speaking, even if it's on stream at that convention.
Hey, man, if there's a convention with a bunch of crypto people at it and they want me to talk, I'm happy to do it. And thanks for setting it up.
Can we make that?
Probably. Yeah. Dude. I mean, look, if there's a big audience of crypto dudes and they want to hear me talk about crypto, it seems like a good fit. Yeah.
Absolutely. We do. Right. We do. All we believe.
Nice.
So
maybe we'll save them from some of the not so good cryptos out there.
Absolutely.
There's a couple of those. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
Oh, good.
So the other thing is, I know by nature, Pulse Chain, the ERC20 tokens are coming all into Pulse. And of course, we know we're going to have some bad actors in there too by nature.
Yep.
Is there a way we can market or having a rating system or some kind of some value system, maybe like a Cisco and Eber thumbs up, thumbs down rating system?
We've kind of evolved into an easy method to tell what may or may not be good based on whether I founded it or not. So it's like
awesome.
Now, look, we use Ethereum. I didn't found Ethereum. You know, we use MetaMask. I didn't found MetaMask. There are things in crypto that don't suck, but there's a lot of things that do suck, you know? So like your question leads you to the thing, like, how much should I help people buy other ticker symbols that aren't the ones I founded so that the finite economic energy people have is diluted so that the things that I did found perform less well on the price chart? And it's like, maybe I won't work on that at all, actually. Like if other people want to work on that, if you want to work hard to go figure out which things I didn't make don't suck, well, go ahead. But it's not my job to help you not directly participate in the ticker symbols I did create. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
I what would I rather promote, Pulse Chain or Ethereum? Pulse Chain. Well, would I rather promote HEX or Ethereum? HEX. Does that mean Ethereum's terrible? No. Like it still is pretty good. It's just too expensive, you know? So I can't help with that particular issue. But there is chat rooms for it. Somebody else has already got a coins launching on HEX or a coin launching on Pulse Chain chat room and Telegram. And they also kind of try and do some type of quality control, apparently, but I don't participate in any of it, you know? Their theory was basically like people are going to find these coins. And so if you have someone slightly less evil in charge that could reduce the net harm, because there will be like 1 million rug pulls when Pulse Chain launches. Like there will just be endless scams and rug pulls because that's what people do with technology. They use it. And you're going to have people that do really good stuff and you're going to have people that do really bad stuff. And that's what freedom is. Like freedom is the choice for people to do stupid crap, and yell as you might, people will do stupid crap. Good questions. Thanks, man. I want to talk to the girl with the funny hat. Am I allowed to say girl, or do I have to say women's, or like,
That's
what is the preferred?
My name is SJ.
What's up, SJ? How's it going?
What's up? Hey, it's
What's
going
it
great.
stand for?
Sarah Joy.
Oh, nice. It's a cool name.
It's truly, thank you. It's truly nice to meet you, sir. I have been doing an audiobook of Sci-Vive.
Crazy. Wow. Nice. I like your necklace too. Looks cool.
I overheard you mention not long ago that you did receive an edited copy, and I was curious.
It's
if there's any
pinned.
chance-
It's the doc files that are pinned in the Sci-Vive channel. So those, I mean, if you read them, those are the edited ones.
Okay. I thought you had gotten a copy back from like an editor.
That
recently.
was a copy from the editor.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could introduce you to the editor directly, and you could work with them. It'd be fine with me. I'll pay the hourly, and you could work with them. I mean, you've read the whole thing, right? So
I'm working on it. I'm working on chapter 3 right now. So,
Okay.
Yeah, slow but steady.
We'll hit me on Telegram and Twitter so I can make sure that you're working on what I think is at least the most modern copy.
Excellent.
Because it is a really big difference between the unedited one and the edited one. It's a big difference.
Wonderful.
But isn't it funny? Like I put so much time into creating the Sci-Vive book, and yet I barely talk about it at all. But it has changed lives. Like it really has good content in it. So like one day it would be nice to maybe actually click publish, you know? Like it's 93% done. Like it just needs maybe 7% of touch up.
Yeah, it's
Tell me more. I mean, you're the one with the Sci-Vive in the username. You're doing more to promote it than I ever have. So
No, it's great. I mean, aside from just, HEX and everything else that you're doing, having this material that you've written, and I haven't even started the other books that you've done. So,
it's so funny. My experience of life is so much different from this conference. I experience constant hatred is my normal day-to-day experience of life. I'm nearly banned off everything. I can barely say what I want to say anywhere. I'm like just attacked constantly. And then I help by buying $2,000 cheeseburger bags. And, I make sure that if the hate's not there, I work extra hard to get it. Like one of my troll comments today was, my watch costs more than your house, #blessed, humble, so like just to like troll, right? Like, #sarcasm, but not though. That was in there because I use it for engagement, right? So that like teasing is part of the engagement. And so it's nice. Well, so the comment is dual. One, my experience of life is so much different than this conference because this conference is so much love and my day-to-day life is pure conflict. Pure. Because I don't go where the love is. I go where the hatred is because that's where I can make more impact. It's crazy. Like I subject myself to horror on a daily basis on purpose. And the second part of that is for all those haters, you would think if a person wrote his entire like life's beliefs in a book or two, and it's a long book that you could just pick through that stuff and be like, oh, look, he thinks this, look how terrible it is. Never seen it happen. So apparently either no one knows how to read anymore, or my beliefs are pretty awesome and the book's pretty awesome, and I mean, we've seen haters dig as deep as could possibly go. I mean, there's haters that know more about my past than I do. Literally, I've seen it. Like that's how deep haters have gone to try and find something to use to harm me, and all they find is good stuff, right? Like they're like, yeah, I've been a nice guy and a good dude for like my whole life. So I just love the idea that you're actually reading that thing that if the haters were right would be the key to my destruction, the thing of all my beliefs, but it turns out that my beliefs are cool.
Absolutely. I have a quick follow-up question. This is from a group of Hexicans that are also drum and bass fans.
Nice.
Either what is your favorite neurofunk tune, or your top 3 drum and bass?
Lately, I've been listening to like this set called the Upbeats 2018 Beats for Love or something like that. I've been in like 4 minutes and 50 seconds into it. It's so good. So good. Now, I wish I remembered like what the actual song was that the DJ was spinning, but my God, it's good.
Nice.
So Beats for Love, the Upbeats. And then Gidra is good. He's a Russian dude. Gydra. He's got some sick sets. I think those are my favorites. But then if I could go old school, I like Bad Company, EIB, I3, depending on how you want to write it. Diesel Boy, Kamal, Rob Data. I mean,
right on. You
got to check them out. Google it. There's also another one that's like rather modern called Audio, and then they had I think the band's name was Audio, and then I think their first album was also called Audio, and they've got some pretty killer stuff on there. We actually have like some drum and bass DJs like in the Hex community. Like a few of them. Like Gridlock is a Hexican, and there's some other dudes with less fame that are Hexicans. Good question.
So right now we have
a nice hat.
So right now,
what is that hat? Do tell. What am I looking at there? This looks
I'm not
cool.
even sure.
I like it.
Something cute.
Nice. How come I haven't seen you on Twitter? Have I just missed you?
I'm Sci-Viving SJ on Twitter. You just liked a tweet of mine. I retweeted I tweeted a old YouTube about not staying mad at people.
Well, then I'm probably following you then. If I liked your tweet and you're Hexican, I probably followed you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
So we have 8 people left, and we have 8 minutes. I don't know if we could do a speed round. But
go fast,
Richard.
Try it. Don't do introductions. Just do questions. Go.
All right. So just echo thanks to everyone and to Maddie for you guys all doing this. It's a pleasure to be a steward of your message. And since there's so many people here, I had a couple questions, but I'll try to do so with alacrity. Yeah, I'll ask with alacrity, and if it works, then it works. But first thing is, one of the things you say is, if you can do one thing right in crypto, or one thing right in life, get crypto right. And, that can be broken down into so many areas. Like if you were to list like 3 to 5 things besides buy Hex, buy Pulse X, but I mean, is it understanding liquidity pools? What would you say are some of the best things to understand?
Choose the right one.
Okay.
And delay gratification.
Okay.
And don't get scammed. Don't lose your keys. Don't give your keys away. Don't authorize the wrong app. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else.
Okay, gotcha. I was looking far more into it than that. So
but that's second one, you won't make more money on that. You'll just think you're smarter, but you might not even end up being smarter. You might learning about liquidity pools might make you trade, and then now you lose. Trading's losing in general.
Absolutely. So the second one, just very quickly, I'm a 2013 Bitcoiner. I'd love that they got robbed by Mark Karpels and Mt. Gox. Would love to get that money back and reinvest it into this ecosystem. What are the odds of that happening to any of us?
Did you file your claim?
Yep, I filed a claim. I get all the Japanese letter thing, but.
Well, then eventually it will happen. You will eventually get your Bitcoin back, or some of them, and then you can dump the price with everybody else. And
yep, it's going to Hex.
Bitcoin.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Good questions.
Appreciated the follow. That was cool of you too. Thank you.
Good meeting you.
How's it going?
A-Bit. I didn't know you were a gymnast. I think I saw you do like a cartwheel or something, bro. What's going on with that? Did I see you do a cartwheel in a video, or am I mixing you up with somebody else?
Thank you.
I'm mixing you up.
First of all, I want to thank you to creating Hex, because it made me financially free, and now I choose to travel across America with the Crypto Sparbook team. Here in Vegas, everything started 6 months ago, and now everything came to an end. Today, we announced that we want to do a second tour, but we won't do it as a Crypto Sparbook tour. We want to give and pass on the baton to the Hexican community. We need 2 things in order to do that. First of all, of course, the funding, easy to do. We do that all the time, right? But second of all, we need the people to really step in, speak, build up equipment, and just be in the field. What do you think? How could we do that? I mean, you already talked about in your live stream that people should support us, but how can we really address the community and organize everybody together to help in this one cause?
You have found the magical place where I'm almost useless and that you know way better than I do. So I did a tour and I'm not going to say I was crap at it, but I didn't tell anyone where I was going on purpose. I told them after I was already there. And then I gave people almost never more than 24 hours warning. And I still got good turnouts anyway. But that's the opposite of how you would do it if you really wanted to reach a lot of people. If you really wanted to reach a lot of people, you do what you did. Have a schedule, put out advertisements, and then maybe get people that weren't already in. When I send out a tweet, hey, I'm doing this, I'm getting people that are already in. I'm not getting people that aren't already in. You have to advertise where they've never seen you before. So I have a feeling that you know these answers better than I do because you've been doing it. You know what I mean? The only thing I might change if I were you is if you see how these success coaches and personal development guys on-ramp all of their guys, right? So like Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, and Zig Ziglar, and all these dudes, they advertise certain places and are able to fill up stadiums. And I have a feeling that when you're promoting something that has gone up in price 1,000,000% in under 2 years, that is a type of performance that should interest somebody. And when you've got the president of the United States talking about cryptocurrency publicly, and when you've got governments and nation states begging for cryptocurrency publicly, I think you really could fill up larger venues if you got your marketing right. And I think you might even get more people to attend if you charged, to tell you the truth. Because people don't see any value in free information a lot of times, but they see a lot of value in paying for it. So you might actually be able to, okay, I guess I lied. I guess I'm useful for all this stuff. I just didn't think I would be.
Charging for our workshop is just against our philosophy. Education.
Yeah, but you're going to get less users.
But Richard, I can tell you.
I guarantee you're going to get more users if you charge for it.
I know exactly what I'm doing now for the next tour. Maybe we'll charge people for the next tour, but the infrastructure is laid out. We have HEXline, we have Mars, Kalen, and me working on the tour. The infrastructure is there. Now we just need the Hexicans to jump in, and we will.
Did you understand, Pete? There's like 1,000 people showing up to a stadium to go buy somebody's book of like, hey, if you read this, you'll get rich, but probably not though, because look what happened to everybody else that read it. Like I went through all that stuff. I paid all those guys, and because I'm diligent, I was able to turn some of it into utility, but most people aren't. I would strongly consider using the exact same marketing tactics to fill up stadiums for people to hear your message as those guys did. At least try it. I've studied their business model because they're reaching more people than we are. You know what I mean? I hope that helps. My pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you doing for the Americans what they couldn't manage to do for themselves for some reason. A German had to fly to America to help spread the word of HEX for some reason, guys. Thank you. Who's next? We blew those 8 minutes, sorry.
Yes. Greetings, I'm Crypto Joe. Also a guy with camera on Instagram. I'm a cinematographer. Just want to put it out there. Cameraman, brought it. I just want to put my services out for the community.
Nice. All right.
And my question for you is Africa and the third world in general. I just see that great value in people being able to stake and do it on their phone, get their phone minutes and convert it into crypto.
We need to get them that pulse chain or they're screwed. I mean, can you imagine being broke in Africa and they're like, yeah, you want to start a stake? Yeah, it's going to be $30 or 15, right? Oh, you want to end the stake? That's going to be 30 or more, you know? So like without pulse chain, actually poor Africa doesn't have a chance really right now. I mean, Ethereum is too expensive for a poor African person to use for sure. Yes. For sure. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, the problems that Africa has are not easily solved with crypto or with anything else. It's hard. They're all hard problems.
Man, greatly thank you
for trying.
Fixing Ethereum because our whole system is broke.
Yeah.
And now we can do those microtransactions. People in the third world can now afford to get involved.
Yeah. For a couple of years, but the fees will probably come up in a couple of years too. So we'll have to do it again, something, right? Maybe roll up.
Can you fix NFTs?
Well,
what would you do?
I mean,
I like Hex toys. You can get the physical object.
Yeah, it's like people are getting what they want. You know what I mean? So if people are getting what they want, in theory, you could say it's fixed. But trying to make people want different stuff, that's a hard game, man. And it's not a technical solution. Getting people to want different stuff is a political salesmanship solution. It's not something you can address with technology.
Excellent.
Maybe they're right. Maybe the future is weird pictures. And then, boy, you guys want to see how many weird pictures I can make? Man, I tell you what. I know how to make a lot of JPEGs, I tell you.
Well, real quick, if there is value in being able to establish who owns what in a digital environment. Okay.
Sure. There is. Hey, look, I think NFTs are great. I just think overpaying for them is not great. You know what I'm saying? Art's beautiful. Music's beautiful. Just don't overpay. Excellent. All right, good questions, man. Thanks for the cinematography. All right, what's up, everybody? Who's next?
All right. Hey, Richard.
I see a repeat customer up top there. Go ahead, go.
Hello, Richard. Hello, everyone. I just want to start off by saying thank you, Richard, and your team, and to Maddie for getting this all together. Even on a 75% price dip, Hex is still the best investment
to talk.
Yeah,
he did everything.
Yeah. So Hex is
Thanks
still
the man with the long hair.
Yeah. Thank you, guy with the long hair. Well, I like that. So yeah, even on a 75% price dip, this is still the best investment I've ever made up to this point. So thank you for that, and to this community.
The vast majority of people bought way lower.
Yep. So my question to you is, I know that there's been a lot of things that have targeted hexagons that are built around Hex or on top of Hex. However, I don't want to be gatekeeping to things that may enhance user experience. And I would just like to know what your opinion might be on encapsulated stakes and their application in the future and how they may be valuable.
It's an experiment. So if the contract goes wrong, you lose all your money. If the contract doesn't go wrong, then you have the ability to encapsulate a stake and then sell it into a different liquidity pool, because you can't sell it on Uniswap where the majority of Hex liquidity is, because it doesn't accept encapsulated stakes. And so if you're willing to incur the counterparty risk, or rather smart contract risk, not counterparty risk, smart contract risk, maybe lightly counterparty based on how much you need a hosted front end, or if the front end is distributed or not, or if there's a guide written for the Etherscan write contract function. I look at, if it is the case that in order to encapsulate a stake, you have to buy the original thing first, and therefore the price moves up when you do so. And then it is the case that it reduces buy pressure in the future because it competes for new users. But those new users, you'll only ever be able to sell an encapsulated stake for less, because anyone else could just create their own stake from scratch. So they will never pay you a premium, never. So you're never, ever going to be able to sell an encapsulated stake at a premium ever. But you might be able to make a longer stake and then have the liquidity to sell it earlier, but into a different liquidity pool, so it acts like a bond. So it's an experiment. We don't know whether they're going to work out well or not. And, there is an encapsulated stake platform that's out there, but no one actually uses it. So that, they've had, I think, only maybe 4 or 5 instances of encapsulations ever, I think. Maybe there's been 7 total. And so we don't really know how it will turn out. If it is the case that it just increases the average stake length, and if it is the case that it doesn't introduce extra buy pressure because you had to buy in the first place, then it could be okay. And then if it's the case that it sucks, it could be possible to fix the suck by not mentioning it anymore. You know what I mean? And so I'm extremely conservative when I talk about things that people might invest in, because I don't want to be responsible if they get wrecked. And so, we've seen people target hexagons before. It has gone extremely terribly. We have also seen recently maybe stuff that isn't that terrible. Maybe, right? We don't know. Like, I haven't even looked into the game theory that hard to know. Like, I don't know what the founder's take is. I don't know what the rate of inflation is. I don't know what the max supply is. These are parameters I don't know about. And so I can't speak to the potential price performance just because I'm not like read up on it. And then there's the issue of, if you care about the hex ticker, the pulse ticker, the pulse X ticker, by what mechanic do those tickers go up if some other ticker goes up? And then if you can't find a mechanic which drives up the tickers hex, pulse, or pulse X when something else goes up, then the question becomes like, well, why would you care if that thing went up, right? Now but like for something that's backed by hex, that mechanic might exist. So if something becomes valuable and you can arb that value down by creating more hex stakes, then there might be a value tie there. It's just that the game theory and mechanics behind that are untested. And so if people want to take that risk and find out about it on their own, feel free. But like, read the audits. I haven't. There's so many things that you really would need to look into. And from my perspective, I'm like drowning in ticker symbols already. Like, you're going to have hex on pulse, you're going to have hex on Ethereum, you're going to have pulse X, you're going to have pulse chain, you're going to have the incentive token. Probably some months after those come out, you'll have a token related to the MetaMask replacement. You're like, that's enough tickers, bro. Like, for me, like that's a lot of ticker symbols, man. Just drawing all them charts and bragging about them is going to be like a relatively time-consuming job. So I mean, I hope that answers your question. It's not knowable. Basically, the primary analysis really is what type of buy pressure exists from the value add, and is that buy pressure enough to cancel out possible modifications to the locking? And so, like, I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows, but maybe we'll find out, right?
Right.
It's an easier answer when you're on-ramping users from outside. If you're on-ramping, so for instance, Grayscale on-ramps users that would otherwise be alienated in an island and not have access to crypto exposure because they're locked in their 401ks and can only buy a certain type of security. And so Grayscale just buys crypto and never sells it, and is only buy pressure from a place you weren't otherwise getting it. That's just pure win. Can't ask for more. And so in this encapsulated version, it's different because you're getting your users probably from the same place. And that's a big difference, You asked me an extremely nuanced and complicated question. I hope you were satisfied with the answer.
Yeah, and I appreciate your answer. It's totally fair to say it's unknowable. And I just appreciate you taking the time to hear me out on that. Me personally, I just like the ability to transfer wallets if needed.
You won't like it if you get hacked. You're going to be very sad.
Yeah, that's true.
Because right now, if someone gets hacked, now the hacker and the person that got hacked both have the keys, and they can fight for that stake when it might become valuable enough to end. But if you have encapsulated stakes and you get hacked, you're going to lose all that money instantly, and you're not going to have any ability to save yourself. So.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of depends on who's first to the punch. Can you beat,
Well, people notice that they've been hacked when it's already too late. So the hacker will always be first to the punch.
Right. And
there's no way to be alerted before it happens.
Oh, yeah. And
good questions, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And lastly, I just want to say I got hexcali.com for all you Hexicans out there in California. I want to start doing get-togethers out there and just, getting a community together, continue to onboard new people and bring together
good stuff, man.
So
thank you.
Hopefully we wish you were here too, Richard. I think I can speak for everyone.
I'm here.
I mean,
am I not here?
I'm here. A lot of Zoom calls with, everything that's been going on. And I mean, no expectations ever, but maybe in the future,
one day, bro.
It'd be nice to
one day
to all be together.
How's that 8 minutes doing, Maddie?
So thank you.
What happens when we go over the 8 minutes? Like, do I turn into a pumpkin or something? I don't know what the hard.
Right, thanks again, Richard. Thanks everyone.
4 more people.
Good.
You want me to go?
Hey, great question.
I appreciate it. Great question. Thank you so much.
Hey, Richard.
What's up? Go.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Yeah, I know you said that your life is like full of, hate mail and stuff like that, but man, it sucks that you're treated like the Rodney Dangerfield of crypto. But
I get no respect.
Yeah,
some people
make a fantastic general, dude. And I just wonder if you ever let yourself bathe in the fact that you have a goddamn army behind you. Like,
thank
for
you.
real.
Thank you so much. Occasionally I'm reminded, and I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you, man. Let's take Monica. Monica sent me a video on how to make some food. Thanks, Monica.
You remember me.
I do.
I'm so excited about that. Okay, I'm the coldest person in the world, and right now I'm so hot. I'm like
nice.
I'm burning up. I got starstruck right now. Hi, Richard.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you? I'm so happy. And I got to tell you, in October, and I should let you know that the way you onboard somebody is you literally drag your bestie with you to the expo, and then she just slams with all this information, and then she'll take over.
That's great.
Yeah, she's great, and you should also know the community is fabulous. I feel so welcomed. You all, I have 101 gazillion questions, and everybody is so willing
Ask the
to
two
help.
best ones.
Hexicans are amazing. You can say that 100 million times and again and again and again, and it's not even enough.
I like Hexicans.
So thank you for you too. You are incredible, and I'm very grateful to be a part of this, and you and your brain and the nerd of you. I'm just digging it. So my question is, I didn't get a chance to, and you probably have answered this multiple times, but I didn't get a chance to do the sacrifice for Pulse Chain.
Yeah.
And so, but I did get on board for Pulse X.
You'll be able to swap your Pulse X coins for Pulse Chain coins, which are called Pulse, before the bridge is open, using the Pulse X exchange. But nobody knows what the rate will be, because regardless of what it starts at, when people start trading into it, it's going to move the rates around, so that we don't know what the rate is going to be at which you'll be able to swap Pulse X for Pulse. It will be interesting to find out, but you will be able to swap them.
So that's the best move then, because I'm anxious. I can't even.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I don't know what's going to overperform. I don't know whether Pulse Chain is going to overperform because it's got 60K plus users in the chat instead of the 40K in HEX, even though HEX has been around for years longer. I don't know whether Pulse X is going to overperform Pulse Chain. I don't know. It's not knowable, right? So it's going to be very interesting to find out. I do understand your desire to have maybe some of each, I'm assuming you may have that desire, but if it were me, I would want to have some of each. It seems I wouldn't want to not have any of them. I would want to have some of each of them, I think.
Well,
I hope that answers your question. You're going to be able to go to pulsex.com and swap your Pulse X for Pulse Chain if you want.
Well, I mean, I trust your opinion, so.
Yeah, well, this is the one thing. I don't know what the price performance is going to be the best of the bunch. I really have no idea.
Right.
We'll just have to see and find out. I don't think it's knowable until it happens.
Well, I appreciate you. And before I let you go, if you need help with sandwiches.
Thank you so much. That's the one thing I've got covered. I have got sandwiches so well covered, you have no idea. If I'm good at anything, it's sandwiches. It's actually not even true. I don't even have any.
I'll lighten them up for you. I got that stuff figured out.
Thank you so much, Monica. I appreciate it. Go.
Hello, Richard. My name is Kincaid Honey. I'm 19 years old, and I'm a day one Hexican. I have been following you since 2016, and you have changed my life in more ways than I can even imagine.
Thank you.
You and this community mean so much to me, and I would not want to be with any other community in crypto whatsoever. And
nice, man.
I just want to thank you personally for everything that you have done for longevity research and for crypto and just everything, every single bit of advice that you give everyone.
Thank you.
And my question for you today is, what is your favorite thing about the HEX logo? As someone who's curious about branding, is it like the color scheme of it?
Oh, I got so many things I like about it.
the color scheme, the fact that it goes into the right,
I'm going to give you the whole spiel right now. I'm going to tell you everything I like. So I designed the HEX logo to represent exponential growth up and to the right. You start small, you get bigger, and you get bigger. And we have a color gradient with great contrast, which stands out against any other logo I've seen. And it gives you, it's also the hardest logo to represent faithfully because printers can't represent magenta very well at all. You can't use normal ink to do it. You have to either have a very special ink and a very special substrate to hold it, which is, for instance, why a lot of direct-to-garment printing, the top right corner will just look purple because you can't make it look magenta unless you use vinyls or special stuff. You can't print magenta on cotton. It ain't a thing. You got to have vinyl or some dye I've never seen. And it's similar on paper. So if you print on paper, you're not getting that magenta color, period. So normal paper, it ain't going to do it. I also like that it kind of visually feels like the 369 interest is represented as well. We don't call it interest now. We call it inflation rewards or yield or whatever, but you get the idea. The maximum inflation annually is 3.69%. And so this kind of looks like it would take up 3 units, 6 units, 9 units. I haven't checked the math on it, but it feels right. It looks great on a small scale. It looks great on a large scale. So it looks good in these very, very tiny logo types that are out there. It looks good in black and white. And it looks good in the gradient, which is the hardest to represent color that exists, particularly magenta. So, and it's weird that it's so hard to represent when magenta is one of the inks in the CMYK, right? But it just don't work. I think we have a better logo than Coca-Cola. I think we have a better logo than Apple. Maybe it's just because I don't like fruits that much. I don't know. I think this logo is absolutely world-class, world-tier, amazing. Like, I've looked at all the other logos. Ours beats all of them. I mean, that's a very strong statement, but I'm unaware of any logo that beats the HEX logo. And I've studied a lot of logos. So I'm very, very happy with it.
Thank you so much, Richard. You're the best founder in crypto, and you've changed my life and so many other people.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for being part of it, man. Go ahead.
Richard, Matty Crypto, man. Finally nice to say hello to you. Very good.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, man. People say thank you to you all the time, and I feel like thousands of people have done that. But I want to say thank you too, but I feel like it's not enough. The words thank you.
Right.
I feel like it's just not enough. So I just appreciate you so much. I wish it was different words I could say.
Thank you. I give you a new one. Honor and respect.
Yes. Well, I honor and respect you. The highest
it seems like I'm cheating.
So thank you. You've changed my life and given me back my freedom and my time to my family. Man. So it's the most positive thing you can do. But me and two friends of mine are in the process of creating NFTs. Actually, we finished an NFT called the HEX King. We worked on it for 6 months. I know you're not a huge fan of NFTs, but our goal was to
You might be understating my position. You might be understating my NFT position.
Yeah, and your reasons are valid, I think. But what we're doing, we're trying to create this NFT world of crypto, tell them the story of crypto from Satoshi all the way up to you as the HEX King. And our idea was to onboard people who are into NFTs but not into HEX. So grab the NFT world and use that as a vessel to onboard them into HEX. If we could do that through the HEX King, would you be more positive and accepting toward that kind of NFT?
So I do value, as I said earlier, if you want to on-ramp people and you want to influence people, you need to influence them from what already influences them. And so from that perspective, I could understand outreach using stuff that I might not like. But the trick is the diode. And so if you do your own outreach and you on-ramp your own users and you don't leech hexagons to the thing, well, then that's just win. But if you do leech hexagons to the thing and they buy your thing instead of the ticker symbols that I made, well, then that's bad for those ticker symbols' price. And so it's really a question of where you're getting your users from. Because if you're like, I would probably never want to see a Hexagon buy an NFT over Hex. Probably. But if you're doing it to a different community that's not this one, which this particular question at this particular time would indicate it may not be the case because we're already in this community, right? Like, it's going to be pretty hard for me to get me to like that one. Pretty hard.
Okay.
You picked the hardest thing. Hey, Richard, shill a ticker that's not one you made. Nope.
We're gonna wait and launch it.
A for effort,
on Pulse Chain. So,
well, good. I mean, and that's the other. See, that's another interesting thing, though, right? Like, look at Vitalik. Do you see Vitalik promoting any ERC20s? Serious question. Do you see Vitalik promoting any ERC20s? I don't. And then when you look in Vitalik's wallet, what you see is a lot of Ethereum. And you do see Vitalik promoting Ethereum. And so it appears that people promote what is in their interest to promote because they may already have equity in the thing. And so you probably would see similar behavior from other founders. So, like, I'm glad that you will launch on Pulse Chain and enjoy the cheaper fees and the higher throughput. But don't expect me to promote your thing over my thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyone's ever going to do that. If they're smart, if they're dumb and they're just like, yeah, screw my tickers, go buy other tickers, then, I don't see that happening.
Okay. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
We're going to see more of this as Pulse goes.
What if you're really buff?
God. It's a big jaw.
Thanks, brother.
See you, man. Go ahead. Hey, it's just Maddie, me, and Susie. So, Susie, it's you.
Hi, Richard.
How are you? You got to get closer to that mic, Susie.
You're sparkly.
Can't hear you.
Sparkly. I think it's the mic.
I like the sparkly. Well, it says it's muted, but it's just trolling.
Okay.
It's not real.
I want to.
I hear you now.
I want you to have one of these.
What is it? Stress ball.
No stress with HEX. It's
globe.
here to save the world.
All right.
I want you to
Thank you.
have one of those. Yes, absolutely.
I think someone gave me one
and
in
to
the
let
shape
you
of a
know
breast once.
that being in HEX, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X, I this.
Yay! Nice.
Abundant.
Are those chips? Are you
Abundant.
throwing money around there? Are this poker
Yes.
chips? Nice.
Because we need to live lucky.
I would be so boring in Vegas because literally I would drink nothing. Like, drinking's so stupid. I love it. I usually mostly do not drink. Occasionally I do. And I'm like, yeah, never doing that again. Total garbage. So I would not drink anything. And I also would not gamble at all. And I would be like, yep, apparently I'm I'm doing all the other fun things here. I'll go see shows, go eat dinner, but I ain't doing none of the other Vegas things. I want my people to be the house, not the gamblers. The house always wins. Gamblers.
Well, I'm here to have fun and to retire my mom. So
Nice.
It's pretty important to me. But my big question is, if I ever get the opportunity to meet you, will you play balloon with me?
I don't know how it works. How do we play balloon? Do we just throw it around? I could do that. I could manage it.
I just want to let you know that you.
Thank you so much. I take all the compliments I
very
can get.
beautiful.
I've got to store up these compliments and make them last for the next, 100 days. I'm on Twitter getting beat up by people. So I'm really going to try and remember all this stuff.
Have more fun.
What's up, Maddie? Congrats on retiring your mom. So what's up, Maddie? How's it going, bro?
So there are 4 or 5 volunteers around here who have been working the entire time. They've volunteered and donated their time, making the biggest difference of all. So thank you to everybody out there who's been volunteering.
Can we see them? Can we see their pretty faces?
Do you guys want to come up on stage?
Let's give these guys a respect.
Do you guys want to come
deserve.
up on stage? Billy Boy, UFO, Teddy, Hextoshi, Sticker Guy.
We've seen Sticker Guy.
Awesome.
They're probably busy working. Well, I mean,
they're doing their job. They're out there working.
You can shout them out on the website. Like, I hope I've done a good enough job promoting the event.
I just want to recognize these
hope.
guys because I could not have put on a conference for such a low amount of money without their help.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Very nice of you. And thanks for inviting me, man. This has been great. I've never received so many compliments. It's the opposite of how I normally get to live. Are these the volunteers? Are
Yes.
these some other people? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for helping out. It's really nice of you. I've heard that everyone's had a wonderful time.
So let's give these guys a huge round of applause.
Thank you, guys. I've heard nothing but good comments.
So I want to thank Richard. I want to thank the community. Thank the Netflix documentary crew that's been here. And thank you so much to the volunteers. Now, you can get an extra t-shirt for $10 on your way out. Lapel pins are $20 and help support covering the cost of the conference. This is not for profit. Hats are free. Take as many hats as you can. We have HEX hats for everybody. And some of them are the ones that you haven't had yet. So my final remark is that
Go ahead.
HEX is life-changing because it allows us to pay our future selves. The conference is now over. Let's go now and onboard users so next year we can grow our conferences even bigger.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I'll see you later, everybody. I'm out, right? You guys are the best. I'm going to be watching that price chart. I love having a talk on a 27% up day. Thank goodness.
Thanks,
See you later,
everybody.
guys.